Quack, quack.
You ask, I deliver. It might be a week late because I went to the emergency room, but that is neither here nor there. I'm perfectly fine. My body is perfectly fine. I think my mind a little short of fine, but that's okay. This is Singles Inferno Part 3. We're diving in. Chinese Singles Inferno Part 3.
Not really like single.
Okay,
I mean,
it's a show called Beauty and the Best. So they bring in the beauty, they're beautiful, and then they bring in the best. Now, the word the best is very vague. The best of what? I guess we're gonna find out in this episode. In episode 3, I will say this, they really bring the budget this episode. We got a new host. I swear this is a new host. It could be the same host.
What
could not be the same host.
The bald guy is gone?
It looks like a different host. I fear I do not know this man. I mean, the past, I don't know how many hours I've spent with this guy. I'm like, wait a minute. You look new to me. But he is sitting there on this couch with two girls that you will remember if you watched the last episode of Chinese Singles Inferno. We've got our fan favorite, Lulu. Lulu is the outgoing girl that just cannot seem to find love. She's perfectly fine. She's perfectly beautiful. Her personality is spectacular. She's honestly so good as a romantic partner that nobody wants to date her. She's had the shittiest luck in this entire... She's been on all 3 episodes and she just can't seem to catch a break. Then we got Denise. You remember Denise?
Denise, red dress Denise.
No, that was Red Dress Nina.
Oh, okay.
Denise.
Which one is Denise again?
I mean, I feel like I watched Denise for like an hour and a half and I still don't know who Denise is. All I remember about Denise is that White Meat Robert, the only foreigner on the show, and he introduced himself as White Meat Robert. I'm not calling him White Meat Robert. He is white.
White Meat Robert's partner?
Yes.
Denise.
All I know about her is that she didn't really like White Meat Robert. And then all of a sudden, they're cooking dinner. He grabs a piece of filet mignon raw and he just slithers that shit down his esophagus. And then the next confessional that I get of Denise is her sitting there going, he's hot. He's gonna be mine. What a man. That's all I know about Denise. They almost kissed. They were both in love with each other. But then somehow at the end of the episode, they said, actually, we want to find love somewhere else. So they're both going to be on episode 3 as exes. It's going to get awkward. It's going to be 2 exes searching for love again. It's like speed dating on crack.
Wait, they just separated last episode and they already made a return?
They separated like 20 minutes ago.
They already returned?
Yeah, they just changed outfits. I was like 20 minutes ago.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, Lulu, she is suffering the plight of Lulu. I'm just going to run you through everything she's been through. So episode 1, Lulu comes in. She's so excited about what these men are going to look like. Lulu, she's great, yeah, but she still wants a hot man. Then in comes Zuzu. Zuzu is a dominant CEO man with this fixation on airline points. I don't know if he's been traumatized. I don't know what happened to him in his childhood that is associated with airline points, but this is the type of man that is going to drive an hour and a half outside the city in traffic because that one Target gives airline points when you buy bread. He is that man, and he is so aggressively uncomfortable. That is who Lulu was stuck with. She was so freaked out. And then the next episode 2, she's like, I'm gonna find love. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna find me. In comes David, the man who turned cosplaying into what only a foreigner can assume as cultural appropriation. So these are the 2 girls left. She did kind of like this guy named Liam. Liam is Diet C-drama Liam. He looks like, you know, back in the day, YouTube was like big on those love skits. He looked like he would star in a YouTube love skit because he's tall. He's conventionally a little above average. But he just like doesn't hit the spot to be a K-drama oppa. He's definitely a small screen type of guy. Like, you know how they call TV small screen? This is iPad guy. Like, he's only fit for the iPad. Any screen bigger than that, you're like, I don't know about this one. That's Liam. They kind of had a thing briefly, but he left her to be with Red Dress Nina. And Lulu had that little meltdown where she's screaming, you just want big boobs. And I can forgive Lulu for that because it's not her fault that she has really good spatial awareness. They were really big. They were projecting out of her body. And I too was staring through the screen, so I can only imagine. And clearly Liam was staring. He goes to Nina. He leaves Lulu to be with Nina. And as he's with Nina, he starts thinking, wait, I think I lost her. I think I lost the good one. So now episode 3 starts with Lulu and Liam both trying to think, are we trying to reunite? Are we trying to get together? But we got 2 new girls entering the villa. So we got Denise, we got Lulu, and we have 2 new girls. The 2 new girls are Yvonne. She looks like a sophisticated violin teacher. She's beautiful. She's got this short shoulder length hair. She looks like she could, at any given point, balance a book on the top of her head while she's walking. She's just got impeccable posture.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to say. She's just got some good posture.
Okay.
I just was noticing it. I'm like, I don't know. She seems like she was a ballerina or something. I don't know. It's the type of person that your mom would probably compare you to. Yeah. So I was a little butthurt about that. But she's actually a former Taiwanese member of a girl group.
Oh.
Yeah. And then you got Gina. Gina looks like a Girl Scout Gina, like a Girl Scout camp counselor. That's the vibe she gives me. She's like
youthful, energetic.
Yes, I feel like, think about going on a work trip and then you wake up 6 in the morning, you fucking hate your job, you go down to the hotel conference room, the coffee machine isn't even working, it's like the boxed coffee, you know, those boxed canisters, and then you gotta pour the coffee, and then the spout is always pouring coffee everywhere, and then you gotta clean it up because, I don't know, your boss is probably watching you, and then you're like, why am I, and then it's bitter, and it's just not great, and then all of the pastries, how do you get croissants wrong? How are the croissants not good? The croissants are stale, and then Gina comes down, good morning! And you're just like, I don't understand. Do we have the same job or not? Because why are you so happy? I don't get it. I think I might be Gina. I think I might be Gina. Okay, regardless, that's Gina.
Oh, man.
Now, am I Gina?
Man. No.
I'm not Gina.
No.
But I do love a good morning.
Yeah,
I do love a good morning.
All about that morning energy.
Yeah, I do love starting the morning with everybody get hyped for the day. Good morning. You know, I really don't like watching these shows because it feels like I'm introspecting too much. Okay, how am I Gina? Now, okay, you know how each time the guy walks in, they have to pick a girl that they want to partner with. And this time the guys are just going to they're just going to choose the girls based off the looks. The girls will leave something for the men. The 4 men are going to walk in. The girls are already in their rooms. And the guys are going to pick the room based off of whatever that episode entails. This episode, instead of leaving a double E cup bra just left on the coffee table after, like, I don't know, a binge party at a sorority, they simply decide, why don't we just let the guys choose based off the girls' looks? Girls, please draw yourself. They start drawing a portrait. You gotta highlight the features that the guys are gonna want because they're gonna choose based off of your portrait. So they draw their pictures, they get sent into their little rooms. Girl Scout Gina does, however, want to send a public message. She just lets it be known. She tells everybody, I just want a good one, like a tall one. They don't have to be good looking. Although, I do think I like ugly guys, but not too ugly. I don't know. You know, if he's too ugly, I can't really accept it. But if he's ugly, I'm okay with it. And then she goes up. Okay, and it's just like, Gina, what? Now the host brings in the guys, and dear friends, we meet again. We meet Liam and White Meat Robert. They're back. And then we get the 2 new guys. And I was really fingers crossed, like, we're going to turn a new stone. It seems like they have a higher budget for this episode. And the first man that walks in is Johnny. The way Johnny walks in, he's wearing a thin white shirt, a long black cardigan that is incredibly tight. This is my first impression, and I know as much as you know about Johnny, but this is my first impression. Johnny is not the hottest guy on the block. He's not a meathead. He's not fighting the invisible ops. I feel like this is how I describe Johnny. Let's say you're on a first date with Johnny. And this happens a lot in Korea. This doesn't really happen in the US because it's kind of weird. And I don't know why it's happening in Korea. But then you go to this like convention, a function, and all the boyfriends have a challenge. It's called Piggyback Your Girlfriend Challenge. They do this in Korea a lot. So the guys get up and you just piggyback the girlfriend. And you try to last as long as possible. And then the grand prize at the end, they win like a McDonald's gift card. It's a thing.
Wait, so all the girls get on the back of the guy?
Usually it's like the front. They carry them like a princess. Like you carry them to the room.
Princess carry.
Yes.
Yes. And then what? You just hold it?
Yeah.
For as long as you can?
Yeah.
Ah.
And that is called entertainment. And so I feel as if you're going to go with Johnny. I'm going to go with Johnny, right? And he's going to pick me up. And he's going to struggle to hold me. And we're going to be the first one on the ground. But he's going to make it like really dramatic. I'm going to be like, no, I don't think. Because I'm looking at Johnny's frame. I'm like, I don't think. But he's like, no, I really want to do this with you. And I'm like, are you sure? And then he pressures you into going up and doing it when you know it's not going to end well. And then in front of everybody, he's like sweating. And he's like, oh, you must have really had like a big dinner today. And you're like, now why would you say that? Why are you blaming me? And then he's just sweating. His knees are buckling. You can feel it. And you're like, Timber, we're going down. And then you just go down so dramatically, but he tries to hold on until the very last minute. And then now you're embarrassed. Now you're both in the car and now you're kind of mad at him, honestly. But then like, you keep asking yourself, do I have the right to be mad at him? I don't know. I just feel very embarrassed. That is Johnny. That's Johnny. I don't know how else to describe Johnny. That is him. He also looks like he's dusting the floors with his cardigan at Hogwarts. I feel like he's on the wrong show. And then we have Ben. I already don't like Ben. He has a shirt with Donald Trump like grimacing on his shirt.
Huh? Wait, is that a t-shirt?
It's a t-shirt and like 90% of it is Donald Trump's face.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. Wasn't this show from a long time ago?
This show was before the fucking show of America. Yeah.
This was maybe like the last, like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
I'm confused. Also, he walks like the Lego man. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. Okay. I'm not judging. I am judging. I just have questions. I think we should sit down and talk about these questions. Now, the four of them, they're sitting on the couch and they're presented with the four portraits. Immediately, C-Drama Liam and White Meat Robert are whispering to each other. It's like two kids in history class. They're like, which one should we not pick to repeat history? Like, we don't want the same people, right? Liam is like, no, I want Lulu. And now the portraits are shown. And I will say, I've seen Lulu. Lulu is practically my best friend. She's practically my sister at this point. I know Denise. We're familiar. I don't know if we're friendly quite yet, but I know her. It's getting there. And I just met Yvonne and Gina. When these self-portraits are flipped over, suddenly I've never seen a single one of these women in my life. I've never even watched this show before. Who the fuck are these people? Oh, the first one has spider long eyelashes. It looks like Mrs. Potato Head. Okay, the second one is a little bit better, but not great. The third one looks like something my niece would draw. And then the last one is just like half the face. Where did the other half go? You're telling me you had enough time and attention to detail to draw your earring, but you couldn't draw the other half of your face? Johnny points at that picture. This is his genius observation. Wait, she only drew half. That's it. Those are like the first words I hear this man say. And I'm thinking, it's not good. This is not good. You know what this gives me? This gives me a whole day. I know some people, this is not me, okay? I have some PTSD or something about this, okay? This is like when shit's going down. You ever have those moments? Shit's going down in the house. Listen, let me explain. Sometimes we will have shit going down in our lives, okay? Everybody's running around with their chicken with their head cut off. Somehow somebody ends up in the emergency room. I see their partner. Okay, emergency room, that makes it sound like me. Somehow someone ends up in the emergency room and then someone next to us suddenly goes, wait, what happened to your eye? And it's just like,
yeah.
Where were you the last 12 hours? Like, where the fuck were you? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Okay. There are people like that. There are. And you just have to wonder. I mean, you're not even wondering. You're just confused.
Yeah. Then.
him. I love him. See, here's the thing.
It's like, wait, I thought you were here.
There's been multiple times recently where like someone will be dramatically escorted to the hospital and then he'll be like, wait, where did they go? And it's just like, you didn't see the ambulance in the front.
Here's another funny thing. Just like last week, Andrew.
Yes.
You guys were talking about moths.
Wait, you guys are gonna die. No, you guys are gonna fucking die. Okay, so I'm always talking about moths, especially with Tiffany, because I'm like, Tiffany.
And your sister too.
Oh,
right?
yeah, and I was talking to my sister about moths. I'm like, okay, 언니, because I'm not as Korean as my sister. I'm like, 언니, if you see any news in Korea, like something's happening, you gotta let me know. I'm so curious. And I'm like, Tiffany, if you ever see them influencers doing those fucking crazy lives, how can you not tell me? Okay, I gotta share this with the world. And so we're always talking about moths this, moths that, moths this, moths that. And then Tiffany's always like, oh, I think that's a good moth. Oh my God, I've got to tell you something for a moth, blah, blah, blah. And then just months later, Andrew sits down and goes, okay, I didn't want to ask.
No, he literally just like in the midst of your conversation,
Yeah.
he goes, hey, I know you guys say it a lot, but
what's moths?
and we're like, what the fuck? Were you not here this whole time?
He said, the first few times he felt dumb not knowing what a moths was. So he was like, I probably should know what that is. But then after the 200th time, it's like, you can't ask me what my name is all of a sudden. Like, I've seen you 200 times. I'm your child's godmother. How can you ask my name now? Yeah.
So he finally learned what mat is.
Yeah. So,
and what is mat?
moral of the story.
Oh yeah.
Now, that was his genius observation. He said, wait, she only drew half of it. Liam waves his hand in the air like he's smelling a big fart. And then he's like, not only that, but she's got short hair. So that's a no. Okay.
That's a no.
And now Ben is offended by the picture. He says, women who draw pictures like that, they scheme too much.
They what?
They scheme too much. Like she's doing too much.
What?
I don't know why he's offended by that. Like, why are you psychoanalyzing that picture right now? The rest of the guys, they go quiet. They look at Ben. They look at the art pieces. Now they go dead silent. At this point, none of the girls look pretty to them. The host is blinking. You guys have been staring at it for a really long time. Do you guys just want to like pick the portrait you want? So they all suddenly rush up and they start grabbing the portraits. Liam and Ben are grabbing the same one. This is like the random drawing that my niece could probably do. Liam is about to run off, but his pants are so tight. It's like cutting off his blood circulation. He's wearing super skinny jeans and then he doesn't run fast enough and the host snatches it from his hand and is like, there will be a game to decide the winner. 1 round of rock, paper, scissors. Liam, Ben, begin. Rock, paper, scissors. Before the last shoot is even out, Liam throws down a fist. He's already revealed what he's going to play.
Yeah.
He played too early. Timing is everything.
Yeah.
In most things in life that have to do with romantic relationships, timing is everything. He came a little too soon. He put up a rock, okay? And then Ben sees the rock. Okay, he's got a 3-second delay.
No! Don't tell me! Don't tell me!
Rock,
Don't tell me!
paper, scissors, shoot! A scissor. Liam wins the portrait and Ben is stuck with half of the face. Half of a woman, really. Is it going to be the left side, the right side? We don't know. The girls are waiting for their partners to show up in their rooms. Lulu, our girl Lulu, she's about to melt into her bed. She's sitting there contemplating what crimes did she have to commit in her past life to be treated this way? To deserve the last 2 episodes of this show. First Zuzu, then David. Now what? She's hoping, fingers crossed, that C-drama Liam is going to walk in through the door and then she's going to find love. She looks directly into the camera at this point because she's very comfortable breaking the 4th wall. She says, I think Liam will choose me. There's a noise outside. Ooh, is he going to open the door by himself? The door opens and her mouth is agape. She is staring directly into the face of Donald Trump.
No! Ben?
Ben.
What does Ben look like though?
Okay. Okay, this is the only way I can describe Ben. And I don't know why. Maybe I know a lot of Bens like this. And maybe 100 Bens exist and only 50 of them I know that are like this. Ben is the type of tall, kind of a larger man, right? He's got a very gummy smile. He wears glasses. He always has some sweat beads on his nose. But for some reason, his girlfriend is always hot. And I'm always a little confused. And I go, love is real, right? And then you see them interact and you're like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on, It's the type of, the girl is like really hot, really young, and then we'll be eating dinner together, and I'm like, oh, this is pleasant, like we're on a double date, and then the girl will be like, yeah, but he's gotta lose weight, and then she'll just like pat his big old belly, and I'm like, I don't know what to say, like that was really mean, but then she's laughing, and then he's laughing. Am I allowed to laugh? Like, am I supposed to laugh to make it less awkward? But I felt like that was really rude. Do you see the vibe?
Kind of, yeah.
Do you see the picture?
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
That is Ben. Lulu doesn't like that look, apparently. Lulu's like, I'm not trying to be your hot girlfriend that Stephanie always sees you with, okay? No, I'm not doing that. Hello. The producers also, they up their budget. They hire an editing team. And for some reason, they edit a lightning bolt that comes in and strikes Lulu down at this exact moment. And that must be how she feels. Her eyes are staring at Ben, this apparatus at the door. Hello. Okay. Hi. Ben sits in the confessional. When I open that door, it's actually much better than I expected. It's the half portrait. That's what Lulu drew.
Oh, Lulu.
Lulu's in the confessional. Again, it's the same person. Again, 1, 2, 3 episodes, same person, different body. Again. Why? Instead of asking Ben about himself, because she's 3 episodes in deep at this point, she knows the drill. She just asked, did no one choose me? No one did at the time. I didn't choose you at first sight either. She laughs in his face. A solid, ha! Ben laughs with her. He leans from right leg to left leg, and he fucking farts.
Wait, he actually farted?
Yeah, he farted.
Wait. They didn't even cut that out?
No. And Lulu looks directly at the camera. It's really smelly, I'm about to break down.
No! Wait, in front of him?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And so Lulu asks Ben to put his shoes away because I don't know, maybe they're stinking too. At this point, netizens are wondering online on Chinese social media if he's just a walking biohazard, which is really mean, okay? But he's kind of mean. I can only say this in hindsight because I feel like all these guys, listen, who cares about conventional attractiveness? I don't know. I feel like most girls I know, nobody really cares about conventional attractiveness. When you have a guy that just treats women so nicely and is funny, I don't think anybody cares. I could date a rock with that personality, okay? But it's also like when they're just got such stinky personalities, you can't not make fun of their farts. Am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed?
Yeah, if he's shitty,
yeah, he's kind of a shitty guy.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get there. So then Lulu starts grilling him with questions and she says, what kind of girls do you like? Please say it's not me. I'm the type who cares about face and not boobs.
What the hell?
Lulu is like, what kind of... She breaks the fourth wall again and she looks directly into our souls. And she's like, are you seeing this shit? But Ben continues. Let me tell you, after all, I have seen so many foreign beauties. I've seen a lot of people in my days. I've seen like maybe 50, 60. I've watched so many Japanese movies, all the same. You know what I mean? I've met so many girls. I will say out of all the girls I've met, maybe there's 2 or 3 prettier than you. But most of them don't really impress me. Lulu's looking at him.
What?
He's looking at Lulu. He thinks, this is it. We might kiss. Lulu is thinking about how many nights she's wasted on this show. The silence is silencing until another bloop. Ben looks at Lulu. I'm sorry. I farted. Lulu turns and looks directly into the camera. Meanwhile, in the hallway, C-drama Liam is also looking into the camera. He too has a habit of breaking the fourth wall, but the way Lulu does it, I feel like she and I have a connection. She's looking at me. I'm telepathically communicating to her. She's telling me through her eyes something, right? Liam looks into the camera, breaking the fourth wall. There's nothing behind those little eyes of his. He's just winking at himself. Pretty sure he thinks the camera lens is a mirror. He's not really winking at me or you. He's winking at future Liam. From current Liam to future Liam. You're looking good, Liam. Keep up the good work, Liam. Bite that lip a little more, Liam. And then he gets in front of the door and he says, I came here for Lulu. I really hope to be in the same room as her. Because remember, he played rock, paper, scissors, shoot for this portrait and he won.
Yeah.
He knocks on the door. Girl Scout Gina opens and he is thin mints right now. She's very excited. She immediately starts asking him all hi, can I ask you, the last episode, did you have a crush on any of the girls? Yes, there is one. I know which one I think. Is it Lulu? How did you know? Because I feel like you like the very lively type of girl. And this is where I'm the moment where I'm like, you know what, Liam? Maybe true love does exist. You mentioned Lulu. Go get your girl. Get a cabin in the woods. Have 3 babies. Live happily ever after. You deserve it. Lulu is also in her room in front of Ben thinking about Lulu. Or thinking about Ben. Or thinking about Liam. She's thinking so hard. She's thinking so deeply. She feels like she can practically hear Liam. Like, remember how he serenaded her and he sang on his guitar? But she's not hallucinating.
Why?
Because Ben looks at her. Wait, do you hear something?
No.
Because the motherfucker is singing on his guitar to Girl Scout Gina. He takes this guitar with him everywhere. One day, his future wife is going to be giving birth, and he's just going to whip out this guitar, and at that point, his future wife is going to lose it. She's going to be on that hospital bed. She's going to be contracting. The nurse is holding her other hand, and she's going to say, look at me. Look at me right now. Put the fucking guitar down. That's going to be his future wife.
Wait, is the guitar loud?
Yeah.
And what's Lulu's,
She looks pissed. Okay? Meanwhile, Ben, oblivious Ben, he leans back on the floor. I feel like I hear singing from somewhere. You hear this singing too, right? Is this someone singing? Sounds like they're pretty good at singing. Is that a guitar?
Oh, shit.
Next door, we got Denise. She's in her room telling the very confused producers, yeah, I think I really want Robert to walk in the door. What? You just said no to him 20 minutes ago. What do you mean?
Yeah.
The door opens and in walks Johnny. He looks like he's moving into a dorm room. He looks lost. Like, am I in the right hall? He's holding approximately 130 bags. Denise is also looking at him like, why did you bring so much? How tall are you? I'm 5'9". Ugh, I feel so tall.
What?
She's a little taller than him, it looks like.
Oh.
When Johnny sits down, he seems normal enough, but Denise doesn't care. She just wants to know everything, okay? I really want to know who everybody chose. How many can you remember? I remember the new guy that came with me. He chose the one that was half painted. Okay, so the new guy chose Lulu. Yeah, and then that, the one foreigner, he chose the one with the short hair. Denise rolls her eyes. She's like, what the fuck? Why does he always go? It's like, he doesn't even care. How could he not choose me? How did he not know that's me? She's upset. Back to Robert. White meat Robert walks into the room, and obviously, the only option left is Yvonne. So he walks into Yvonne's room. He's very impressed. He's smiling. Hello. Hi, how are you? I'm Robert. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Yvonne says, I mean, he's handsome. He looks good. Well, I guess it's not that bad. And she mentions, yeah, we got the smallest room, so there's not even a door to the restroom. Robert looks at her, looks at the restroom, and says, oh, that's good. You can look at me and enjoy then. Yvonne is so flabbergasted, okay? Yvonne seems like the type, if you pick her up for a first date and you don't open the passenger seat door for her, she's not stuck up. But she's just like the type with high standards is how I feel. You don't open the passenger seat door, she might be like, oh, that's weird. My dad always opens the door for me like that. Like, that's the vibe she gives me. And he's like, you can look at me butt ass naked today, taking a shower, soap buds going in my crack. And she's like, that is heinous. Why would you say something like that? And she's like, why would I be looking at you? Stop acting. What? I know you want to look at me. She looks so grossed out. She tells the confessional later, I mean, I just don't see it. I don't really like this kind of guy. Later, they find a Polaroid camera and Robert wants to take pictures with her. And he's like, we got to take a photo as a souvenir. It's the first day of the maid room. And he keeps trying to put his arms around her. She's not having it. And she keeps saying, you're too direct. I'm not comfortable. And then he's trying so hard to run through all the pickup lines. He's speed running it. Which one do you like best for our wedding? Our wedding? Yeah, what do you want for our wedding? What are we going to use on our wedding day?
Wait, so is Robert like super into her? Is that why he's acting this way? Or he's just like being a sleazeball?
I feel like Robert is the type to flirt with his own dad. Like, I feel like he's just a sleazeball to everybody.
Right, okay. So it's not necessarily he's into her.
He doesn't look into anybody.
He thinks he's just like so funny, so hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When did I say that there was going to be a wedding day? Well, when the show is over. We just met. No. We've known each other for 27 minutes. I think you're going to scare a lot of people like this. Fine. Okay, no marriage. Now it's time for dinner. Okay, for Robert is mentally trying on tuxedos for his own wedding that he hasn't found a willing bride to yet. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Denise is thinking about Robert. Robert is thinking about Robert. Lulu's thinking about Liam. Liam is thinking about Lulu. That's all we have.
Is thinking about Lulu.
Yes, okay, he is. So they all show up to the kitchen. It's awkward. They sit around, they introduce themselves, and somehow the conversation turns to both Liam and Lulu, how they were coupled up in the last episode, and everyone was asking, why didn't it work? Liam is just like, I'm too ugly. She doesn't like me. So this is the whole dinner. And Johnny, however, is just trying to partner with Lulu. Johnny's interested in Lulu. And he says, I do think Liam and Lulu are a good match, I think he's very talented. They said he could cook, he can sing, he can play the guitar, he knows how to dance, he knows everything. And you know what? It pisses me off. It arouses my jealousy. So he says, I can read people's futures. You know that?
Oh, okay.
And Lulu's like, really? Can you read my future? And he said, what do you want to ask? I don't know. Love, career, everything. He pulls out a deck of cards. He starts reading. He says, wow, I see your future. There's some good seeds in this one. You will soon say goodbye to some people you used to be with. You must say goodbye. Okay, Johnny Potter. He's biased. I'm not mad at it. He's trying to work his magic wand. He's got to do what he's got to do. But it is a lot. Meanwhile, during dinner, he's just staring at Lulu. Yvonne is interested in Johnny. And all of these people are confusing to me. They're so confusing. Yvonne is honestly the only one that treats this show nicely. She's like, I do think Johnny is really easy to get along with. He seems like the happiest one in the group. He makes jokes and stuff. So I think he's funny. During the dinner, Robert ignores Denise. Ignores Yvonne, the woman he proposed to 10 minutes ago, and across the entire length of the dinner table says with food hanging out of his mouth, your name's Gina, right? Yeah? Where are you from? I study in Hangzhou. You study in Hangzhou? Can you imagine what my major is? Can you guess? It doesn't exist in foreign countries because I know foreign universities don't offer this major. What is it? I major in broadcasting and hosting in Chinese and English broadcasting. Okay, I feel like broadcasting and hosting do exist, but that's okay, Gina. That's okay, Gina. Now, Denise is chomping at her food, very pissed off. What the heck? I'm trying to get with Robert, and Robert's trying to get with Girl Scout Gina, and I'm very annoyed. So the next part of the activity is that all of them are going to go into this tiny telephone booth, and I feel like this activity was made with the sole purpose of they booked an Airbnb with this random telephone booth outside, those British telephone booths, as a prop. As a design element. And they were like, how do we spend no money and make an episode for this show? We're going to use that prop. So the guys are going to pick someone. It cannot be their partner. They got to pick someone who is not their partner to spend 3 minutes in the telephone booth with. It's a tiny, cramped telephone booth. So the first one to go is Johnny. And he says, it's very hard to pick, but he decides.
Lulu.
How'd you know? He points at Lulu.
Yeah, he likes
Lulu. The future, yeah. So in the telephone booth, they give me the energy, it's not uncomfortable. It's just a married couple that don't really like each other is the vibe. Or at least that's the vibe Lulu's giving. And so they just kind of have this weird energy. Lulu is not talking. She's just I don't want to talk to you. And it's very resistant. They leave the telephone booth. Then the next person comes in. Robert chooses Girl Scout Gina. And Denise says, in that moment, I thought, my guess was right. Men are all fickle. Men are all shit. She's having it. She's going through the low, okay? And they get up inside that booth, and Robert is just like, I just want to get to know you. I didn't hear you much when you speak. Listen, I don't have requirements for boys, not many. They need to be tall. And then I looked at Robert's height, and I thought, okay, he's quite tall. And he said, but you're partnered with Yvonne, and she's from Taiwan. You know, people from Taiwan are very traditional. Robert says she is quite traditional. She has that Taiwanese style. I don't know what this means. I feel like the context went over my head. Yeah, Gina later says, at first I thought Robert was cheesy. I felt like he was a bit messy. He always makes those eyes, you know? But after entering the booth, I thought, he's actually not that bad. Now for Liam, he obviously chooses Lulu, and they go into that booth together, and I was thinking, oh, the sparks are gonna fly! And it is kind of tensiony. She's so shy, she can't even look at him. She will not turn around. She has her back to him the entire time.
What?
Like, I want to say 2 minutes and 15 seconds are of him going, can you please turn around? Can you please turn around? And she's like, I can't. I'm embarrassed. I'm so shy. I can't do this right now. And then their time is up. That's it. They don't talk about anything.
Whoa.
Meanwhile, Ben, he's doing the most. He turns and he looks at each one of the girls who are all sitting there trying not to make eye contact because they don't want to go in that booth with Ben. And Ben says, do you feel the energy in your body like it's exploding right now?
To all of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, who's excited to go in there with daddy?
Everyone's adrenaline must be pumping. And everyone's like, yeah, we're terrified. I'm scared. Ultimately, he chooses Yvonne because, and listen, I think this is enough for us to be able to shit talk Ben. Her quote, her temperament, she makes me feel intellectual.
Her temperament? What?
Yeah. They're talking about girls like we're dogs. Meanwhile, Yvonne just says, I just had to accept my fate. They get in there. Ben is trying to hit on her. And he's like, you remind me of someone I know. Meanwhile, Yvonne is sneaking open the door and then taking breaths of air. She says, can I just say something? Our heights, I was below him. This is in the confessional. I was right below his nostrils. I feel like he was full of breath, and I felt like the breath was coming from his stomach, just constantly blowing out this. It was very painful for me to breathe. It was a very bad scent. I endured it for 3 minutes. I just kept trying to bow my head to breathe. It was really rough. With that, the night is over. Liam goes back to his room singing, which is a sign he wants Lulu to come over. I'm like, where the hell is Gina? Why does this feel like we're cheating on Gina? I mean, that's clearly neither here nor there, but this is Lulu's love story. She goes to Liam, and immediately he opens the door and he's like, did you miss me? Competition's tomorrow. I can win first place. And it's like this really weird energy in the room. Like, I don't know how to describe this energy. It was making me very uncomfortable though.
What do you mean?
Like, I love Lulu, but it was making me very uncomfortable.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's just like, felt like an affair. It's the way they were talking. It was very affair-y, you know? And then he's like trying to put his arm up against the wall and sandwich her there. And then she keeps turning around to face the wall like she's in timeout because she's so shy. She's like, I can't look at you. And then she's like pacing the room. And then he's all like, I can win first place. Who do you want me to choose if I win first place? And it's like, why are you asking the question, you dumbass? Okay.
Tell me you want me too, baby girl.
Yeah, but then Lulu is not even having a back and forth conversation with him. She's meanwhile pacing this room going, I'm a cool girl. Like, I'm a cool girl. I'm a cool girl. Why am I suddenly so shy? I'm usually so cool.
She's voicing it out loud?
Yeah.
In front of him?
Yeah, and he's just like, who you want me to choose, baby?
They're both like living in a...
Yeah, he's living in his... Who do you want me to choose, baby girl? And then she's like, no, I'm so cool. What's wrong with me? Okay. Get it together, Lulu. I'm so cool. I'm very confident. Yes, manifestation. It's like two very different energies. Very different energies. And then he's like, you shouldn't be so shy, baby girl. I will choose you. I'm going to win first place and I'm going to check on you and you can also check in on me. And he tries to corner her again and she's so shy she won't even. Okay, so then he pulls out his very oiled, very used, very long, very stiff guitar and sings like, I think he's trying to make the fucking OST, the soundtrack for this season of this reality show by scratch. Like, he's just singing again. Meanwhile, Lulu, she can't even sit still. She's fixing her face. She's fanning her face. She's touching her hair, putting it into a pony with her hand. And then she's like, obviously, it's not feasible for me to hold this for this long. So then she puts it down, and then she's fanning her face again. And then she keeps hiding her face in her hands. And he's like deep in a verse when the door opens and Gina walks in. And Gina's like, now, what the hell is this?
What's going on?
You guys are chatting. Liam tries to change the subject. He throws his guitar. He runs to the mirror and he says, I think I'm really getting fat. My face is so swollen. Huh? Oh. And both the girls look at him like, wait, what is happening right now?
No freaking way.
Yeah. And then Lulu runs out. Gina acts like nothing happened. Meanwhile, in Denise's room, Denise is on the bed. Johnny Potter's on the floor. Kind of like older sister, younger brother relationship. And then White Meat Robert and Yvonne. White Meat Robert is like, so tonight, do you want me to be Big Spoon or you wanna... Yvonne is like, what do you mean? You're sleeping on the floor. We're not gonna have any sort of spooning. We're not gonna touch each other. We're not touching each other. Yeah, I mean, fine. I think you can control yourself. What are you saying? It's not... I'm the girl. I'm the one that's worried. What are you worried about? She ultimately kicks him out to the sofa because this is getting so ridiculous. The very next day, everyone gets thrown onto a bus and they are taken for a ride where they play Truth or Dare. This is like the first dare. It's Girl Scout Gina who requests Johnny Potter to act like he's in a relationship with Yvonne.
Johnny Potter from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I just realized that. Why do you keep calling him Johnny Potter? Okay, got it.
Wait, this is giving... What is Mott's again?
I'm like, who's Johnny Potter?
Wait, normally you're so fast. I'm picking up what I'm putting down. What was that?
Okay.
It's because he hurt his back recently.
Yeah, well, I gotta pee real quick.
And on this very short bus ride, somehow Johnny and Yvonne decide that they're into each other. They like each other. So Johnny gives up on Lulu, and now he's into Yvonne. And once the bus parks... Here is the challenge. Remember how they were chased by like a canine dog at one point?
Yeah.
Then they were like doing some weird pool challenges. This time, it's like, you know that show American Ninja Warrior where they have to go through the entire obstacle course that's on a giant pool, and it's like inflatable boats with like the rings that are swinging, and they got to jump from one floaty to the next floaty, and it's like, it just sounds like something someone with weak knees should never attempt. I have weak knees. Now, they have to go through this obstacle course, and the person that can finish the obstacle course at the fastest speed with only falling in 3 times is going to be first place. So then they start the obstacle course. The first person to go is Robert. Robert speeds this entire obstacle course. He goes from start to finish without falling in even a single time. Yeah. There's not much to say about him. The next up is Johnny. Johnny says, I didn't know what to do. I was so nervous. Okay, so now he's going to climb up this giant inflatable like float. And then from there, he has to hang onto a rope and then use this rope to Tarzan through. There's like this rotating thing that's going to hit him. If it hits him, he's going to fall into the water. So he's got to get that rope and then swing to the other side across from this rotating thing. And he just doesn't know how he's going to do it. And then once he gets there, that's just step 1 of the obstacle course. You know what Johnny says? Even climbing up the stairs for this, I felt like that was the entire obstacle course. I felt like that was already too difficult. So then he hangs onto the rope and he swings, and anticlimactically he lands on the foam thing. But it's like not done well. It's honestly pure luck. If I ever seen luck, it's this. Okay, then he goes to the next part. It's like these tiny little floats, like skinny, long hallway floats. And in them, there's these spinning rings. The rings spin, but the center of the ring is empty. So you got to aim it. So you walk in through the centers of the ring, but the rings are not spinning at the same speed and like the same direction. So you got to time all 3. And then you got to jump to the next one before you get booped by the ring behind you. So it's a lot of timing. He goes to the first ring and boop, he falls in. Then he goes to the second ring. He falls in again. And now he's got one more chance to fall in. So he speed runs, the phone rings. And by the grace of whoever is watching this, Poseidon, I don't know, the gods of water, he gets through the spinning rings and then he jumps onto the next platform. But I guess he wasn't ready. Nobody was ready. That entire platform vibrates. So now he's just vibrating on this platform, trying to hold on for dear life. And he thought the only way to stay on is to lay flat on his back, use his nails to dig onto the side of the inflatable platform that is now vibrating. And he's just vibrating so hard that his back is lifting off the platform, landing back down. And I just know his skull.
Flopping on the phone. Okay.
And I just know his skull is like about to hammer into the sides of his head. It looks like it would give me a headache. Yeah, it looks bad.
So
and,
how does he get up?
He said, I'm going to die. He said, I'm going to die. Now, Yvonne is really sweet. She's watching. I feel so bad for him. I really want him to go through it smoothly and not get hurt. So I really want to cheer him on. And during the process, she just states she wants to cry. And Johnny says, this is a voiceover. They do voiceovers now. He said, the truth is I haven't exercised in 5 years. Yeah. So I'm just holding on for dear life. I was a very unconfident person. Okay, just think about this. The producers are playing coming of age music, sad music. And then you have his voiceover. However, the only visual you get is it like bouncing on this platform in slow motion, different angles, just bouncing, okay?
Bouncing.
Yes, and he says, because I'm a very unconfident person, when I was in middle school, I didn't have friends. And I would sit there and all the girls would just look at me and they would think, you're not athletic enough. So at the time, I didn't even dare to think about talking to girls. I always felt like I was gonna hold myself back. Others always thought that I was just a loser. But somehow he gets up, he balances on his 2 feet, he jumps to the next vibrating platform, he leaps in the air and lands, boom, in the middle of another platform. He falls to his knees because this one's not vibrating. That means he's gone through that challenge. He falls to his knees. Slowly, heroically, he lifts up and boop, he pops up 2 peace signs. I'm like, Johnny, what are you doing? What are you doing, Johnny? This is crazy. Yvonne is clapping from the side. Honestly, I love Yvonne. She's so pure the entire episode. She's saying things like, I felt like his face was very serious, but inside his heart, I felt like he was very scared, and that made me worried for him.
Aww.
Yeah. So he finally gets to the very top where he has to climb up a slippery staircase where there's just a waterfall pouring down on him, threatening his grip every 2 seconds. But he gets through it. Then in comes Ben. He's determined. And he sounds like he's strategizing like a military takeover and not a date. He says, I'm doing this for my choice. In this way, I'm going to choose Gina. She's my ideal. I'm not going to give up. We see Ben crawling through the obstacle course. He doesn't even start the challenge. He's climbing and heavy breathing. He can't do this, okay? He says, when I stood at that second level, the starting point, I was like, I might as well just sink down into the water at this point.
He's worse than Johnny?
Worse than Johnny.
Oh, damn.
So he said, yeah, so I decided to give up the first level. So then he goes on to the second level, where it's the rings that spin, you know? And then the ring turns in a circle. Instantly, Ben falls over. It's like, you know when you watch someone do something, you're like, I feel like you weren't trying. I feel like he really wasn't trying, you know? And he did not mention having any physical things that were preventing him from trying. Like, it was very anticlimactic. He just kind of walked into it.
Oh.
You know, it's like walking into a closed door where you're like, I feel like you could have tried to open it first, maybe. I don't know. So then he does it again, and he just like, bloop, falls into the water, and then bloop, falls into the water. It's to the point that everyone is very confused watching him. They're like, I don't understand what's going on. I mean, what is happening? But Ben says, the difficulty was beyond my expectations. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I felt like I was getting cut up like tofu. Everyone's like, I don't know. This is weird. And then the last person to go up is C-Drama Liam. Remember yesterday? He was all like,
I'm gonna win it for you.
Who should I choose, baby girl? Right? He walks up there, like the doors are about to open, and he's about to do that boxing walk, you know, with the music blasting in his ears. That's what he looks like. I don't know why he's wearing a Captain America, like, wetsuit. But he is.
Wetsuit, okay.
It's like overly tight.
Oh, okay.
To which Lulu is fully confident. She says Liam's nature is not to lose in any aspect, so I really want him to win. He goes up and he swings past the revolving paddles. He makes it to the rings. He makes it past the first ring. Then he makes it past the second, and then bloop, gets blopped into the water. Lulu is rethinking her decision on men, okay? So then he does it over and over again, and then finally, he loses the challenge.
Oh, he didn't make it through.
He didn't make it to the end. He is in third place.
Oh, wow.
He's not first place. It's third place.
Who's the first place?
So
Robert.
we got White Meat Robert.
Was
second
Robert
place.
like really effortless through?
Yeah.
He's just like bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah.
And he's done?
So I think everyone else went in thinking like, this is easy. You know when you watch people do like things very easily? Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Have you ever watched like I was thinking about this, okay? I was thinking about this. I did see like one specific F1 race, and I'm sure it's like a very specific F1 track where I had a split second and I thought, but then I realized if I get in a car that doesn't have like the backup sensor when I'm parking, I can't park the car. The car is going to be parked in a direction that does not exist. The car is going to be parked on top of your car. Like, it's not going to work out for me. So I was like, okay, maybe. So I think everybody had that feeling with this. Now, second place is Johnny Potter. Third place is Liam. And fourth place is Ben. So now they're going to stand and choose behind the girl that they want to switch partners with tonight. It's going to be the last one goes first. And then the person above them can override their decision at any time.
Yeah, okay.
So the first person that goes is Ben, and Gina is trying so hard not to make any eye contact with him, but he doesn't care. He walks over, stands right behind Gina, and Gina starts ranting, farting while talking. He picked his nose at the dinner table. The other day when he was going down the stairs, his pants fell down. I saw half of his butt.
What? What?
The next person is Liam. Lulu is confident. Liam stands behind Lulu and they're like, yes, we're gonna get our chance at love. The next we have Johnny Potter. Johnny Potter stands behind Yvonne. And so now the only person left is White Meat Robert and Denise. Remember Denise?
She's smiling.
So yes, he's about to go stand and he walks right behind Liam.
He goes for Lulu now? Literally, why?
He goes for Lulu.
Does he even care? Did he even talk to Lulu?
Lulu is so confused. Lulu turns around.
Bro, he's just trying to fuck shit up.
And she says, this is so cruel. Why me? Robert says, are you not happy? And he tries to explain, look, I haven't had a chance to deeply get to know one female guest, which is Lulu. So I'm giving the last chance to Lulu. Lulu's like, I don't want your fucking chance. What the hell is this?
So where did Liam go? Liam goes to
Denise.
Okay. Damn. This show is like brutal.
Yeah. Then later he just tells Lulu, I've always wanted to choose you since the very first time I came. And he's like, she's like, you chose Denise the last episode, right? Yeah, I was torn between Denise and you. And to be honest with you, the reason that I didn't choose you is because, guys, I fucking hate him. He says, I thought you were fat. But it was just like the dress you were wearing made you look fat. So I'm really sorry. But I guess if you didn't wear that dress, we would have had different results, wouldn't we?
That is fucking insane.
And he says it like he's winning her over. And she's looking at him like, what is happening right now? Like, he's worse than Ben. He's so much worse than Ben. Like, bring Ben back. Ben's a little weird. He's a little gassy. But maybe he has gastrointestinal problems. I get gassy too sometimes. When I'm nervous, when I'm nervy, I get a little tooty. So maybe he's just a little nervy, you know? What the hell, Liam? No, Robert. And you know what? Maybe Ben is nice. Maybe we can bring back Ben. Okay, he did talk about girls a little bit weird. He did say some other comments that I didn't include. However, Gina's got her sleep mask on, and compared to Robert, who just called Lulu fat, Ben is trying to make small talk. He's like, when you were young, have you ever eaten something that really impressed you? So near the university in my hometown, there was like this Sichuan snack street at the time, and they expanded it. It's like the same size as the villa that we live in right now because it was that good. And the people there, they're all from Sichuan. So I'm used to eating like really spicy food since I was a kid. And as he's talking, the camera pans to Gina, who is wearing an eye mask and is in REM sleep. Yeah, no, she's like in deep sleep. There's no waking her up. She's in REM. Yeah, it's crazy.
What's going on? Like, he just want to talk? Like,
yeah.
And he's not realizing that.
She's like practically snoring at this point.
Damn.
I don't know what to do. So finally, we get to the end of the episode where they choose partners. And first up are Liam and Denise. They go up and they both press the button. No. Up next is Lulu and Robert. They both press no.
Oh, it's flashing. Lulu? Are you here?
Lulu, I'm scared. Oh, she's so nice. She cares about my feelings. Okay, then we got Lulu and Robert. They both press no. Then we got Johnny Potter and Yvonne. Johnny Potter presses yes and Yvonne presses no. And then Yvonne starts bursting into tears, to which Johnny tells her, don't cry. It doesn't matter if you don't like me. I want to protect you until you need help, and we can always be friends.
What is going on?
And then next up is Ben and Gina. Ben presses yes. Gina presses no. No. But before the ceremony is over, Liam says, wait.
Uh-oh.
He tells the host, wait.
And he pull out a guitar.
I haven't reached a match, but I have someone I want to match with. Is there any possibility that I can invite that person to the podium to make a choice? The host is so confused. Let me ask my boss.
No way.
They're like, I gotta ask the director. So they leave. He comes back. After the discussion with the director, we do hope that true love will be born on this show. You can't even keep a straight face, you liar. Okay? So there is such an opportunity, but if you have the courage to choose, you must have the courage to bear the consequences. If the other person doesn't agree with you, you will leave immediately and leave alone.
Oh.
Okay. Lulu, I choose you. Lulu walks up to the podium and he says, Lulu, I hope there is only you in the world. I want to tell the world that only you exist and nothing else. Also, they've known each other for like 4 business days. Just keep that in mind. Whatever. I also am very fickle with my emotions. Like, I go through fixations too. Sometimes I'm fucking obsessed with blueberry pancakes and I'm like, I don't understand how I ever ate anything else for breakfast. And then 2 days later, I'm like, I want to throw up at the sight of blueberry pancakes. So 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God. Lulu says no?
They both vote yes. And they hug and they're allowed to walk off holding hands.
Like out of the show?
Yes.
Oh my God. Lulu's out?
Yes.
What?
So now they're gonna go be together. Probably not.
Oh my God.
So Lulu and Liam, they finally find love.
Wow.
And the rest of these losers are probably gonna get go. No, I just rebooted.
What the?
The rest of these losers are probably gonna get kicked out. Guys, I'm so sleep deprived also. Like, I haven't slept in so long. Okay, so all these losers are gonna get kicked out, apparently. That's what they said. And I don't mean losers. I really like Yvonne. I think Gina's okay. She said some mean stuff about Ben. Was it warranted? I don't know. Okay, Denise is, I don't know. But all of them are gonna get kicked out, I think. Tiffany was like, I'm pretty sure it's a full new cast. And Lulu makes a comeback. And it's like really weird. And I was like,
Tiffany say apparently it gets crazy the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. But.
So what happened is like she just kept watching and watching and watching. And then now I'm like, I think that's enough, right? And then she's like, no, you gotta watch the next one. It gets crazier. So she said, this is where everything gets so unhinged. Like, this is what the show is known for. It's not even the first 3 episodes. Episode 4 is like where it gets crazy. So please let me know if you would like an episode 4. Or I was also thinking, there's this reality show that I've been really hooked on. I can't even tell you about the premise. The premise is illegal. But let me know if you guys want more of these Chinese shows. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the National Network to End Domestic Violence. They are a nonprofit organization dedicated to creating a social, political, and economic environment in which partner-related, workplace, and stalking violence no longer exist. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we would also like to thank you guys for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. Just a few quick disclaimers for today's case. There are mentions of suspected SA and somewhat graphic descriptions of injuries, as well as brief mentions of substance abuse. The majority of the research was pulled from the court trial itself, and the longest day of testimony lasted about 9 hours. Just for one of the days. So for the purpose of time, as always, some statements have been condensed. With that being said, let's get into it. Monday mornings are usually for regrets and headaches. The weekend is over, everything is back to reality, and it's not a good feeling. It's not great. In Fort Myers, Florida, Mila, she's freaking out. Her car was basically stolen from the bar last night, from the Buddha bar. Her $80,000 car is now gone. Stephanie, another resident, she can't get in contact with her best friend Christine that she went to the Buddha bar last night with.
What is a Buddha bar?
It's like a club called the Buddha Bar.
Oh.
Yeah. Jason, another resident, is at work. He's hungover. He's exhausted. And then all of a sudden the doors open. Police walk in and they want to talk to him about, what did you see at the Buddha Bar last night? And Wade, 25-year-old Wade Wilson, is standing in line Monday morning at this print shop. It's like where you can buy those giant prints, like printed storefront posters or art prints. He's standing in line behind another customer who's already being helped by the owner of this print shop. And it seems like both the customer and the owner that's behind the counter, they keep glancing at Wade. They keep looking at him and acting like he's not there, acting like they don't see him or the condition that he's in, because this man is shirtless. He's also shoeless, missing a couple of teeth, and he's got blood smeared like all over his torso. Just he's covered in blood.
What do you mean missing a couple of teeth? Like his front tooth?
A few teeth are knocked out. He's waiting for his turn to talk to the owner because he needs to tell him what the hell happened at the Buddha Bar last night. Sunday night at the Buddha Bar in Florida is probably the perfect time for someone who wants to be at a bar. You get to enjoy the live music and dance and drink, but it's not as packed as every Friday, Thursday, even Saturday. You don't want to be shoulder to shoulder with people in this sweaty, humid room. It's busy, but it's not overly crowded. You actually get to socialize with some of the people there. It's not the craziest crowd, which is perfect for Mila. She just wants to have a little bit of a low-key night. Mila walks into the Buddha Bar, maybe 10:30 p.m. She has this thing, okay? Mila has this thing where she never brings a purse with her. She likes to be hands-free. Her phone, her work phone, she's got 2 phones, her business cards, her wallet, her keys, everything goes into her pockets. She just stuffs it in there. And if it doesn't fit into her pockets, she usually has somebody with her that has bigger pockets than her. Like her boyfriend, Wade. She gives him the keys to her $80,000 Dodge Hellcat. It's like a muscle car. He has the keys to her $80,000 Dodge Hellcat in his pocket, and the two start partying it up at the bar.
So Mila is dating Wade Wilson?
Yes, and she's at the bar with him, and he's got the keys to her car. Now, outside the bar, Amy just pulls into the parking lot, and she sees this sleek gray Hellcat parked outside. She's like, that's perfect. That's my best friend Mila's car, which means Mila's inside. Amy's here to see Mila. She grabs her bag, gets out the car, and she starts walking in. She's known Mila for maybe 10 years now. And this is the kind of friendship where it appears they don't really see each other too often. And when they do, it's like no time has passed. They hadn't seen each other in a really long time at this point when Mila and Amy decide, let's meet up at the Buddha Bar. How about Sunday night? I mean, it's kind of the perfect night. I want to introduce you to my new boyfriend, Wade, and you live like a mile away from the bar, so it's perfect. Amy lives a mile away from the bar. So she shows up to the bar. It's going to be a fun night. And she's trying to find Mila in this crowded, loud, Mila! And next to Mila is her boyfriend. The one that she's been talking about so often. The one that Amy's supposed to meet. And the first thing that Amy notices is this guy is tall. This guy is probably 6'6". He's tall. And next to Mila, he looks even taller considering she's 5'2". She's tiny. He also seems nice. He seems charming even. Wade Wilson, nice to meet you. Oh, Amy, nice to meet you too. The three of them, they grab drinks, they're hanging out, they're dancing. And then it happens. This is the one thing that every friend who goes out with couples, they dread. The couple starts fighting. They start arguing and the whole energy just goes south. It's sour. They're arguing at the bar because they just want to do different things. Wade wants to leave the bar right now and go to a guy friend's house and maybe do a little bit of drugs. Mila, she doesn't want to do any of that. It's Sunday night. She wants to go home early. She'd rather either stay here at the Buddha bar, enjoy the music, dance like they agreed to do, or just go home at this point. She doesn't want to continue the night at somebody else's house, and she doesn't even know this person. And what is she supposed to do? Sit there and watch them do drugs? She just wants to go home. They're going back and forth, back and forth. Nobody wants to budge. Mila's like, I've told you at least 3 times that I don't want to go over there. Please stop pushing it. Besides, this bar is about to close. It's nearly 2 a.m. I think we should call it a night. The two step away from each other to cool off. And Amy's trying to stick by Mila's side. Maybe let's just head out, get some fresh air. I'm sure he's going to join us outside. And once he gets outside, maybe he'll change his mind. Maybe he'll be like, you know what, babe? Yeah, you're right. Let's go home. They walk outside the bar and they hear a car engine rev and crack. And then they see a car speeding away. That's Amy's looking at the car. She's looking at Mila. She looks back at the car. Isn't that your car? Wade, Mila's boyfriend, had taken Mila's keys to her $80,000 car and had just driven off. Stranded his girlfriend at the Buddha bar. At the same bar, there are 2 other girls that have no relation to Mila and Amy, or at least not yet, Stephanie and Christine. Just like Mila and Amy, Stephanie and Christine have been friends for a really long time, and they're just trying to enjoy their Sunday night before the work week starts. The girls are about to leave when a man jumps in front of Stephanie. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. I was just wondering, who's your friend? He kind of cocks his head towards Christine, who looks up at him. Hi, I'm Junior. Oh, this is my friend Christine. Stephanie's a little bit confused. Christine reaches out her hand, shakes Junior's. Christine, nice to meet you. And the 3 of them, Stephanie, Christine, and Junior, they start walking towards the bar and they start talking. I mean, it's very clear that Junior is very much interested in Christine at this point. He's so distracted, he almost forgets to introduce. Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry, guys. Meet Jason, everyone. Jason, this is Stephanie, and this is Christine. They're like, hi, Jason. So the 4 of them, they enjoy their drinks together. And Christine is giving Stephanie oh, this is good. Like that look. He's cute. He's charming. He's friendly. He's so funny. Look at his clean shaven face. He's got the big dimples. Christine is joking to Stephanie. The guy that I was talking to earlier tonight, remember? He had just 1 dimple. This guy, Junior, he's got 2 dimples. Okay, the message is very clear. Stephanie and Jason are playing wingman tonight, so Christine and Junior can get to know each other. And they do. The girls are at the bar from 10 p.m.-ish to around 2 a.m. until the bar is closing up, and slowly everybody starts shuffling out of there. Things are going, honestly, very well at this point. Nothing feels forced. Nothing feels unnatural. The conversation is flowing so easily, and they're all standing in the parking lot for a second when it's suggested, why don't we just all go back to Jason's to finish off the night? Christine and Stephanie had Ubered to the bar, so it makes sense. It was kind of perfect. They get into Jason's car. Jason starts driving back to his place. They open up the front door. They're all giggling, all 4 of them, when they flip on the lights, and on the couch, sitting there, staring at them, walking in, is Jason's mom. And she's pissed. It's past 2 a.m. It's Monday morning now, and Jason's been out all night long, and now he's brought home 3 people over.
How old is Jason?
I would say probably early to mid-20s.
Oh.
So everyone tries to make small talk with Jason's mom to kind of ease the tension. And it's not really working, so they all just run off into Jason's room to get away from the weird awkwardness. Jason's room is interesting. It's at the very back of the house, and there's a door to the backyard in his room.
So it connects to the
Yes,
backyard.
exactly. So Stephanie and Jason, they decide we're going to just step out into the backyard to hang out, give Christine and Junior some space to do whatever they want to do, because the two of them, they start having intimate relations pretty quickly inside of Jason's room. Now, I do want to mention, everybody here is an adult and it's consensual. Stephanie is the type of friend to fight somebody herself. She's the type to call the cops herself if she thinks even for a second that something is wrong. This is, by the way, Stephanie does tell this to authorities later on. Like, she is recounting the whole night, and so does Mila. There's a lot of testimonies here. Now, Stephanie says they're just adults that met at a bar. They're having some fun. And it was nice to see Christine enjoy herself once in a while. I mean, she's usually the one that's taking care of everybody. So it's nice to see that she's getting a break from all of that. Now, the four of them are there for a few hours, maybe. I mean, they kind of lost track of time when Junior pulls the girls aside and he tells them, this guy doesn't want us here anymore. We gotta go. That's what he says. And it was at this point, Stephanie said, they realized, wait, these two guys, they don't know each other. Junior and Jason, they also just met at the bar tonight.
What?
She assumed that they had been friends. Like, they were under the impression that Jason and Junior had known each other and had arrived at the Buddha bar together as friends. But the way that he's saying, hey, this guy doesn't want us here anymore, it very much is indicating, I just met this guy.
And he just slept in his room?
Yes, with Christine. And so the whole thing is a little bit strange, but also not strange because it's not like anybody lied about it. It's almost like Stephanie and Christine just assumed. They made the assumption, right? And they just seem so natural. They seem like they had been friends for years. Now, it's unclear who offered or how this next plan comes into place. But the new plan for the rest of the night, I imagine it's maybe like 5, 6 in the morning at this point, is to go to Christine's house. Christine lives alone, so there's no mom that's going to be sitting in the living room waiting for them to get in. She does live with her cat, Monty, but other than that, she lives by herself. So they grab all of their stuff. They throw it into the car. This is actually Junior's car. That's also another revelation the girls are having. They're sitting in the car and they're like, wait, Jason drove this car to Jason's house, but now Junior's driving it. So apparently it was Junior's car that Jason drove. It's weird. It's a little bit weird. So they get into the car. Junior's in the driver's seat. He turns it on and the engine is so loud. I mean, especially because it's 5 in the morning and they know that all the neighbors are probably going to wake up to this. It's just revving so loud, practically waking everybody up. Junior puts his hand on the steering wheel. He puts his hands on the gear shift and he starts backing out of the driveway and the engine is getting louder and louder. But the car is not moving. The car is not even moving an inch. What the hell is happening? He tries to back out again and the car engine revs loudly again. I mean, do you know how to drive your own car? Like, what's going on? Are you drunk? He doesn't seem drunk. Junior is fiddling around with the pedals and it's not moving because it's not even his car. He had never driven a manual car before. This is a stick shift car. He's used to automatic cars. He's never driven a Hellcat before. This is his girlfriend's car, Mila's Hellcat, that he stole from the Buddha bar. And his name is not Junior. His name is Wade Wilson. And he is about to murder one of the girls in the car. Joshua, the owner of the print shop, waves by to his customer. Thank you. Have a nice day. He's smiling at the customer and he's avoiding Wade as much as possible while that customer is walking out of the print shop. He pulls Wade to the side and he's asking him, this is also Joshua tells the police later, what the hell is going on, man? Wade starts pacing back and forth inside this print shop. I need your help. I need a bus ticket. I need a plane ticket or something. I gotta leave town. Joshua had heard about the fight with Mila from a mutual friend of theirs, and he tries to kind of calm this guy down. Wait, look, if it's about the fight with Mila, no, you don't get it. You don't understand. I killed someone. Wade starts frantically filling Joshua in on what happened last night, how he went to the Buddha bar with Mila, stole her car, but he didn't know how to drive it because he can't even drive a stick shift and the car is not automatic. He had some random dude named Jason drive it out of the bar. He, Jason, and 2 other girls went back to Jason's house, and then Jason kicked them out. So Wade and the 2 girls, Stephanie and Christine, they were going to head back to Christine's house for the night, or early morning, I guess you could say, just a few hours ago. But Wade could barely get the car out of the driveway, and now Christine is dead. He killed her. Joshua freezes, and Wade begs him to help him get out of town. I gotta go. I need a bus ticket. I need a plane ticket or something. Because I also might have just tried to kill Mila this morning as well.
Whoa.
So there is so much going on. Joshua is nodding, but the only thing on this guy's mind is, how the hell do I get out of here so I can call 911? He later tells the court this. He's like, I just needed to get out. I didn't want to alarm him to make him feel like I'm going to rat him out or snitch on him. So I'm thinking of, okay, do I tell him I need to go talk to a friend? Do I tell him I need to go smoke a cigarette? He just needs to call 911 so that someone can come and get this guy, because this is not good.
Are they friends?
He said they're more like acquaintances.
Okay.
He's saying they're not even that close of friends.
So he barely knows him.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not trying to help this guy get out of town. I'm trying to help this guy get arrested.
And the Wade just showed up.
Shirtless, shoeless, missing a few teeth, and with blood smeared on his torso.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. How well did you know Mr. Wilson?
I didn't know him very well. He was an employee at a friend of mine, marina in Conch Key, and
down in the Keys.
Down in the Keys, and I've only met him maybe a handful of times before that.
Mila's also not having the best morning either. Not the best Monday morning. This is before Wade goes to Joshua's print shop. This is early in the morning. She wakes up on Amy's couch. This is the friend that was at the bar with her. And she's staring at the ceiling, probably contemplating her life right now, okay? Contemplating how she got here. How her boyfriend Wade just abandoned her at the bar last night, essentially stole her car, and the past 6 months of her life were a living hell. Wade was probably the world's worst boyfriend for the past half year of Mila's life. Within a few weeks of dating, she had already called the police on him multiple times. He had physically assaulted her multiple times. One time, Wade apparently got very upset at Mila for these text messages that she had on her phone. It's unclear what the messages entailed or what the contents were, but they're both in the car and he's driving, blowing up on her, and she doesn't like where this is headed. So she ends up trying to get out of the car, just trying to create some distance between those two. He runs after her, ripping off her skirt. She said she wasn't wearing any undergarments underneath, so she's just running down the street in nothing but a t-shirt on, trying to find somebody to help her. He ends up tackling her to the ground, choking her in the middle of the street until she passes out. She comes back to, and she's in the car. Her hands are tied behind her with a cord, and there's this makeshift blindfold over her eyes. He said he's taking her back home. Their place at the time had a boat on the property, and it's parked on the dock, so there's water out there. He drags her onto the boat. They start getting off into the water, so there's really no way for her to escape anymore. It's not like she can just jump out the boat. And he tells her, I'm teaching you a lesson. He essays her. And when he's done, he brings her back home and then starts trying to comfort her, telling her the pain is over now. That's what she said, like the pain is over now. This is all reported to the police, and Wade ends up spending a total of 3.5 months in jail before being released on probation. He'd actually just gotten out a few days ago, and then the two of them decided to go to the Buddha bar. But now, Mila's done. She's over it. She said she just wants her car back, she wants her property back, and she will be so happy to never see this guy ever again. And now it's the next morning. She probably has a raging headache from the alcohol, if not, probably from the mess that she's in, and her phone is ringing nonstop all morning long. She's getting a bunch of text messages, missed calls from an unknown number. She finally squints her eyes. She looks at the time. It's around 8:45 in the morning. She calls one of the numbers back. Whoever this is calling her work phone, trying to get in touch with her. So it seems like could be work related. She owns a spa. It could be a customer. It could be a client. She doesn't know. She calls. The voice on the other end is the most agitating voice that she's going to hear all morning. It's Wade Wilson. And he's acting like none of that happened last night. She says hello and he's quick. Where are you? Can I come get you? She tells him, look, I just want the keys back to my car. I want my car back and I need to get it back today. I have a few things I need to do. Where are you? He starts calling her a bitch and a cunt and all sorts of threats. It's just a lot. It's getting pretty heated, enough that Amy can hear from her bedroom. She says that she starts walking out into the living room and she thinks the whole energy is weird. I don't know if she necessarily heard the conversation or maybe Mila told her afterwards, but they both state that he was going from being very calm, saying things like, I love you, we can make this work, to the next time I see you, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, it's just back and forth like this, just hot and cold. Mila manages to de-escalate the conversation because, again, she just wants her car back. She's not even trying to fight him or argue or talk about how messed up that was last night. She just wants to do whatever it takes to be happy and nice and get her car back and then block him on everything. She de-escalates the fight, and the two of them, Mila and Wade, they agree to meet in the parking lot of Mila's spa that she owns. Amy understands that as, okay, we both gotta go because you don't have a car. Mm-hmm. She gets ready. The two girls get into Amy's car because, like I said, Mila doesn't have a car. And as they're driving to her spa, the whole time in the car, Amy said, Mila's phone just nonstop blowing up, buzzing the whole way. He's just calling her the whole time. And this guy just feels very unhinged. Amy parks her car at the parking lot. She watches Mila get out of her car, approach Wade, who's sitting in the car, and she goes to the driver's side. Next thing Amy remembers is she's on the phone with 911 because there's just so much blood. Mila had gotten out of Amy's car, walked up to Wade on the driver's side of his car. He's like, Mila, get in the car now. She's not gonna get in the car. She literally says, I'm not getting in the car. Is this guy crazy? He tries to grab her by the waist. He's pulling at her dress to try and drag her forcibly into the car through the driver's side window. Not even the door, through the window. So Mila says she needs to think quick. She throws her arms up in the air, like she's about to dive into the pool, just straight up, like a plank. She refuses to let her body fold up because she thinks the second that her arms fold in, he could probably drag her into the car. She's gonna go through that window and she's like, no way I'm getting into the car with this guy right now.
Like he's kidnapping her in broad daylight.
She's resisting, she's planking, he's pulling her, he's ripping her dress, grabbing her hair, dragging her, and whatever he can get his hands on. She manages to wiggle away and Wade starts panicking, realizing that she's slipping away from his grip. He opens the driver's side door. He hasn't even put the car in park at this point. It's still in drive. He gets out the car, grabs Mila. The car starts slowly rolling forward because it's not in park. Wade tackles Mila to the ground and the two of them are positioned where the car nearly runs them over. It grazes their legs. Wade jumps off of Mila, quickly puts the car into park, just pulls the emergency brakes. Mila uses this chance to run. Amy has been in her car trying to figure out what to do. This is happening very quickly. She has her hand on the door handle. She's ready to get out and help her friend. Wade is chasing after Mila and he points at her. If you get out, I'm gonna kill you. Amy does not get out. Mila is 5'2". She's tiny, maybe 100 pounds. Amy is 5'4". Both of them against Wade 6'6". Nothing good is gonna come out of this. They're both gonna get killed. They would need to have a whole army of them first. Amy's busy in the car calling 911. Meanwhile, Wade manages to catch up with Mila. So Mila at this point, I imagine.
This is, you say 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning?
I would probably aim closer to 9:30 in the morning because she got the original phone calls. She calls back at around 8:45 in the morning.
Right. So
yes.
There's nobody around?
There are other business owners, but I don't think that they've come out yet fully. Mila's just trying to book it to the spa. I think her intention is if I get into the spa, I can lock it. I'll be safe. I mean, I'm hiding somewhere. Because I don't know if she knows which businesses are open at this point inside of this little retail shopping plaza or which ones are going to open the door for her. Now, Amy can see all of this. Mila is holding onto the stair railing at one point, quote, like a monkey trying to hold on. He just keeps ripping her more and more, trying to drag her into the spa. So now he wants to take her into her spa. Mila says she knows that if the two of them are alone in her spa right now, he's going to kill her. She said, I didn't know whether he was going to drag me in and then they would have to resuscitate my body. If he got me inside, I knew I was going to die. So she is doing absolutely everything in her power to stay outside of that spa. She said, I start to get beat It all went so fast and so slow, whether it would be punches, slapping, choking, that kind of nature. I'm trying to reason with him, trying to talk to him, but there is nobody behind those eyes anymore. So there's no reasoning with him. He just has these dark serial killer eyes where there's nothing to reason with. It's like looking into a black hole. You're saying words, you're trying to evoke emotions, but there is nothing behind those eyes. I'm just trying to buy time. That's what Mila says. Now, Wade has Mila pinned up against the hallway wall. Both hands are around her throat. The only time he takes his hands off her throat is so that he can pummel her face with his fist. At this point, two things happen at once. One, they start hearing police sirens in the distance coming closer and closer. Two, Wade punches Mila in the face so hard, her nose, quote, explodes. Just blood explodes everywhere. Mila thinks this is either one of those, or maybe both of these things that kind of freaks Wade out because it seems to take him off his guard, giving her just enough time to duck underneath his arm and run away. She bolts it across the parking lot. A neighboring business opens her door. She's rushing in. They slam the door closed right behind her. They lock it. And by the time that the police arrive, Wade is gone. He has just driven away. The police have an idea though. Why don't we lure him out? That's what we can do. The plan is Mila's gonna convince Wade to meet her in the parking lot of a local restaurant called Joe's Crab Shack, which surprisingly or unsurprisingly, I don't know at this point, but this man is headache inducing. Wade agrees. He's like, yeah, sure, Mila, I'll come meet up with you. He's gonna meet up with her at Joe's Crab Shack. There are 2 officers on site that's gonna block his car so that he can't leave. And they actually end up talking to Wade. There's footage of this. He rolls down his window. The officers...
Wait. This happened when? Right away?
This happened like an hour or two after the assault.
Wade knows damn well the cops were coming.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me meet you.
I guess he was confident enough that Mila was not pressing charges or that maybe they didn't believe her. I'm not sure what he's thinking. But he shows up and he rolls down his window and the officer is reassuring him because he doesn't want to scare him off. I'm not going to arrest you. We're just going to detain you for a second or two to figure out what's going on. So the officer leaves for 2 seconds to get a backup officer. He turns around. Wade is driving off. Again.
Just wait till my partner gets here. L41, gonna need a couple more units. Don't go anywhere. Hey. Alpha 18 an hour out in there.
Like 1 second he's there, the next second he's not there. He drove off from the Buddha bar in the Hellcat, he drove away from the spot, and now he's driving away from Joe's Crab Shack. And the police are confused. Where the hell is this guy going next? They don't have to wait too long to find out because soon enough they get a 911 call from the owner of a local print store, Joshua. The call was along the lines of, hello, I have a friend of mine who came in here with blood covered all over him. He said he killed somebody. His name is Wade Wilson, and I told him I was going to go smoke a cigarette and I would be right back, but I'm calling you. The police are now standing in the parking lot of the print shop. It's a very busy day. Wade is long gone. And once again, this is the police's 3rd time missing him this morning. He's gone. But this time he left them a little something. The car. The car is parked in the parking lot. The car that he drove to the print shop. The car that they're staring at, though, is not Mila's car. It's not the Hellcat. It's a black Nissan. And they know that this is not registered to Wade either. So it's not Wade's car. It's not Mila's car. So the question is, then whose car is this? The police officer puts his face up to the window and he's pretty much like cupping his hand so he can see better inside. And he decides, we gotta open this car. We gotta break into the car because there is blood inside. There might be someone in the trunk. That is what the officers believe.
Whoa.
Stephanie was at work when she gets a call. This is Monday, the day after Buddha Bar. She gets a call from the police and
Stephanie is...
Christine's friend. They were the ones that were at Jason's.
Right. Okay, yes.
But they knew Wade as Junior.
Right, okay.
So she gets a call from the police and they're like, hey, we found your friend Christine's car, her black Nissan. What do you mean you found her car? It was never missing. She's so confused by this. Now, here's what the police are able to piece together by this point. After talking to Stephanie and hearing her side of events from the night before, this is what they gather. It appears Wade Wilson went to the Buddha bar with his girlfriend Mila. He then steals her $80,000 Hellcat and has Jason, a random guy he meets at the bar, drive him and the two girls, Stephanie and Christine, back to Jason's house. Afterwards, they try to go to Christine's, but because Wade cannot drive the Hellcat because it's a manual stick shift, they leave it in Jason's neighborhood and they Uber to Christine's house. So now it's Wade, aka Junior, Stephanie, and Christine at Christine's house. Stephanie says that she was there for maybe 15 minutes, but she had to go back home because she had work the next day and she had to take her son to school. Stephanie turned to Christine and she asked her, is everything okay? Like, am I okay to go? She said that Christine gave her a hug and kissed her goodbye. And so she's like, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Stephanie says if Christine was concerned about this guy in any way, she would have not let me leave that house. If she was scared in any way, she would have told me, let's get this guy out of here. So Stephanie leaves. She walks past Christine's black Nissan parked in the driveway and goes back home. All morning, Stephanie has not gotten a text back or call back from Christine, but she's not freaked out about this because technically they essentially pulled an all-nighter last night. She just assumed she doesn't have work. She's probably knocked out right now. Meanwhile, that morning, Mila's phone is blowing up from calls from an unknown number. The police track that number and it's shown to be Christine's phone number. But the two girls, they don't know each other. I mean, sure, they were at the bar, the same bar last night, but they never spoke. Why would Christine's phone be calling Mila? Because Wade had taken Christine's phone, but why? Mila doesn't know. She just wants her car back. The Hellcat, right? That's presumably parked somewhere near Jason's house still. Wade agrees to meet up with her at her spa, but he shows up in this black Nissan. He attempts to kidnap her, and then later, essentially attempts to murder her, drives off. He goes to meet with her again later at Joe's Crab Shack, not knowing that the police are there waiting for him. He pulls up in the same black Nissan, Christine's car, and then he manages to drive away. And now he's gone to a print shop where his friend Joshua is the owner, and he tells him that he's killed people. Joshua rushes to call 911, and by the time that the authorities arrive, Wade is gone, but he's left the black Nissan in the lot, which happens to have blood in it. This is what the police know, and the police are very concerned that they're going to find Christine's body in the car.
But how did he leave without a Nissan?
I guess he just ran off.
He ran barefoot?
Yeah.
Wow.
And instead, they find a phone inside the car. Now, this phone is not Wade's phone, and it's also not Christine's phone or Stephanie's phone. It's a complete stranger's phone that has no correlation to any of these people in the car with blood inside. Usually when you see a vulture, it's never a good sign. Vultures are literally called vultures because they feed off of anything that they can find, and sometimes there are bodies that they feed off of. Police find vultures surrounding this wooded lot nearby, and it's like this empty wooded lot. The police decide we gotta go investigate what's in there because that's a lot of vulture activity. They walk in and they search the place, and they find a woman's body. One of her fingers and nasal bones were fractured. She had injuries all over on both sides of her body, bruising up and down her arms, her hands. Her ribs were broken, as well as the hyoid bone in the neck. Her name is Diane Ruiz, and Wade Wilson had just recently killed her. Wade is sitting in the living room of this nice empty house. This is after the print shop. He's sitting in this nice, honestly kind of expensive house with 5 crumbled up cans of White Claw next to him, the seltzer, the alcoholic beverage. He had some popcorn, he took a shower, so he feels better. He put on some fresh clothes. They're not his, but it's the least of his problems right now. And he grabs his phone and he starts calling the person that he usually goes to. Now, whenever something bad happens, whenever he's in trouble and he needs to get out of it, this is the person he calls. Wade had never been that close with his biological dad. In fact, he only recently saw his biological dad for the first time, 7 years before all of this? Wade is 25. He met him for the first time when he was 18. For all of Wade's childhood, he had been living with his adoptive parents. His biological parents had been 14 and 15 when they got pregnant with Wade. They just weren't in the situation to take care of him, so he gets adopted by a family that went to church with the mom, with the biological mom. They already had 2 daughters. They're of the age where they can really take care of a full family. And they think, let's bring Wade into our family and make it a family of, 5. For 13 years, it works. Wade is a very active member of their family. He's always spending time with them. He's spending time with his 2 sisters. And it's actually when he turns 13, the family starts figuring out something is very different about Wade. It starts off with these smaller things. One time, Wade's sister was giving him a haircut, but because he was wearing this hoodie, it just keeps getting in the way of making sure that the hair is even in the back. And she asks him, can you take off the hoodie? Which he does, but as he's taking it off, she notices something incredibly alarming. He's wearing a t-shirt underneath, and he had stapled his t-shirt to his skin. He had stapled the arms of his t-shirt to his arm, the sleeves of his t-shirt to his arm. There's just staples in his skin. Nobody knows why, but I think everyone can agree that's very alarming behavior. Regardless, Wade reaches out to his biological dad when he's 18 years old. And the 2 of them, they've been trying for the past 7 years to have some kind of relationship. It's a little bit hard to do when the only time that they've really seen each other is once. And Wade only ever calls his biological dad Steven whenever he's in trouble or he needs money. Kind of like now. His biological dad, Steven, picks up and he's like, what's going on? Wade sounds really frantic, like he's about to lose it. And he keeps repeating to his dad that he did something that he can't take back. And he's in big, big trouble. He needs help leaving town. There's 2 people who can't be here anymore. That's how he puts it. Because he killed them. He's a killer. That's what he tells him. Wade's dad does not believe him. Because he knows that Wade is always on drugs. And he's thinking he might be high right now and he's like making up stories. He's hallucinating. He's delusional. Something's going on. But he's also kind of a fibber. Like he likes to tell these crazy stories and most of the time they're not true. So he thinks, okay, this guy is just really out of his mind, bonkers high. But Wade keeps calling him throughout the rest of the night, giving his dad more details on what's going on.
He just told me, he did something. There was 2 people gone that would not be back. He said, I'm a killer. I just told him to call me back. I just thought it was another story,
Finally, at 10 p.m. that night, so almost 24 hours after the Buddha bar, Monday night, he starts telling his dad in detail about how he went home with a girl named Christine from the Buddha bar. They hung out, and after she fell asleep, he got on top of her and he, quote, I choked that bitch. He stated that he stayed in Christine's house for a little bit longer afterwards with her dead body, and then eventually he decides, I should probably dispose of her body. He grabs blankets, clothes, and he rolls her up inside the blanket, like almost how you would roll up a rug, sandwiches her, and the thought was, initially, he was going to put her into the trunk of her car. But he couldn't lift her. He told his dad that he thought rigor mortis had already set in, so it was making her body very stiff, and he thinks that's why he couldn't place her in the trunk. So he just leaves her in the apartment, takes her car, and leaves. The dad is periodically asking questions like, why would you do that, Wade? I don't understand. Why would you do that? And he says, I don't know, Dad. I don't know why I did it. I just wanted to do it. Wade then tells his dad about how he found a woman walking on the side of the road the next morning. And he was stopping to ask her for directions. This is after he beats up Mila. This is after he tries to kill Mila, but before Joe's Crab Shack.
So this is like, you're saying like 9:30 a.m.-ish?
Yes. He finds a woman on the side of the road and he stops to ask her for directions. Somehow he manages to get this woman into the car, whether it was by pure physical force or manipulation, I don't know. He strangles her, finds a place to dispose of her body, drags her out of the car, and then he realizes she's not dead. So he gets into the car and runs her over, quote, until she looked like spaghetti.
He just saw a random woman on the street and decided to brutally
murder her. Yeah.
For no reason.
Yes. His dad was also confused. So Steven asked, why would you do that? You don't even know this woman. And he said, I thought, F it, already got one down. The most chilling part of this is the whole time Wade is describing what he did to his dad. And Steven, the dad, describes it as being very excited. Like he wants his dad to be excited with him. Imagine if your son won the lottery. They want you to share in that joy and excitement with them. That's what he sounds like. He sounds very proud and happy.
When he talked about these 2 people who are no longer with us and that he was a killer, did he show any type of remorse?
No, ma'am.
But he also needs his dad's help right now to get away with this. Help him run. Get him out of town. Stephen, Wade's dad, is quiet for a moment before he says, okay, give me your address. I'll send you an Uber. Not too long after, a car pulls up to the driveway. Then another, and then another. But it's not an Uber. It's the U.S. Marshal's office, and they are here to arrest Wade Wilson. The police had already reached out to Wade's father, Stephen, and he had been helping them. While he's on the phone with Wade, trying to send him an Uber to help him get out of town, his wife Melanie is on the side texting the police the address to where Wade is. Wow. Stephen is actually pretty honest. He said, as a dad, I did hesitate on whether or not I should turn him in or not, or help him get away. And he just thought about the immediately. I don't think he pondered on this quite long, but he said immediately he just thought, what if that had been his wife or his sister or his daughter, right? He can't do this. And what if Wade is going to kill again? Then that's on him. He knows that he doesn't have a choice. He has to turn his son in.
And where was Wade? You say
He had broken into a random person's house in a suburban neighborhood, and he was drinking 5 White Claws, eating popcorn, taking a shower, and wearing the homeowner's clothes.
And nobody was home.
They had recently just gone to Ohio, so this is like their second home. I believe they were on a flight to Ohio when this was happening, so they had just left.
Wow.
Yeah, the timing is a little crazy. Now, Wade is arrested very quickly inside a stranger's house, and he's very quick to tell the police everything he told his dad on one condition, that he gets a burger and some fries. He tells the police everything. He starts from the beginning about how he stole Mila's car from Buddha Bar, goes to Jason's house where he leaves the Hellcat because he can't drive it. Then he goes to Christine's where they're finally alone. Stephanie had already left. He strangles Christine to death. The whole thing is just bizarre. He doesn't give reasoning. After they were having fun, she was in her bed falling asleep. He just gets on top of her and, quote, I just decided I was going to kill her. Then he steals her car, drives to meet with Mila, nearly kills her, runs from the police that are called on him from the spa, and as he's driving around, he sees a woman walking down the street, minding her own business. He stops the car and asks for directions. He does not need directions. This woman is Diane Ruiz. She was walking the few blocks from her house to work. She works as a bartender at the Moose Lodge. It's maybe a 15-minute walk. She's the bartender there, but I mean, honestly, she's a lot more than that. The Moose Lodge always holds these kind of events for even kids and elderly. Sans alcohol, like no alcohol, of course. And she was always there working these events. People loved her. I mean, she had worked there for 3 years now. Everybody knew her. Whether he convinced her that he truly had no idea and it would just be so much easier if she could just get in the car for 2 seconds and help him down the street, or whether he forcibly dragged her into the car, or perhaps he told her, thank you so much for helping me, I can just drop you off at work since it's on the way. I don't know. I personally think that he forcibly dragged Diane into the car. He doesn't state that. He says that she willingly got into the car, but I disagree. Somehow Diane is in this man's car. He starts choking her while he's driving, and his head is on a swivel. He says that he's just looking for a place to dispose of Diane's body now. He stops near this empty wooded lot, drags her out, and realizes she's still breathing. He lays her body on the ground and he gets into the car and starts driving forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward, and a neighbor even testifies. Whoa. A couple was eating breakfast that morning and they had looked outside and they saw this random black Nissan just driving back and forth in one place over and over and over again, and then eventually drove off. And they didn't think anything of it until a little while later, there's crime scene tape everywhere.
You're kidding me, and they didn't see the body?
No.
Wow.
He said, quote, I ran over her until she looked like spaghetti. And then he just leaves. And the authorities, I mean, they have the same questions as Wade's dad. Why would you do that? And he just tells the investigator, quote, it came across my mind to just murder. Just kill, kill, kill. He says, it's just like, you know what? I've already done it once. I'm going to do it again. It came across my mind to just murder, murder, murder. Just kill, kill, kill. He said that he could also sense Diane's fear, and that made him want to kill her. He said, she really wanted out of the car bad at this point, and I could tell. I can sense her fear. I'm like a lion, you know, and you're the prey. I can sense it. They can't get away from me, even if they wanted to. I'm too strong. I don't look strong, maybe, necessarily, but I can, believe it or not. I'm not trying to be mean, but I could take either of you two down. He's talking to the 2 detectives. He's like, I don't look strong, but I could take you down. And he said her fear is what triggered him to kill her because he's a lion and she's the prey. He allegedly tells the authorities, and I would do it again. Afterwards, he drives to Joe's Crab Shack where he is confronted by the police and manages to escape once more. Then he drives to the print shop and manages to escape once more. As for why he took Christine's phone, he states that somewhere along the Buddha bar or Jason's house, he had lost his phone. And before he left Christine's, so she's already deceased at this point, he needed a phone. He grabs hers and uses her face to unlock it with Face ID. Whoa. And he leaves. Police had already arrived at Christine's house by this point, and immediately upon walking in, they knew that clearly something was amiss. Someone had placed what seemed like a roll of blankets just in the middle of the hallway between the bedroom and the kitchen. They slowly approached the wad of blankets, and they quickly realized that at the center was Christine. Just from looking at her, her face is badly bruised. She has a swollen eye bruising up and down her body. Her fingernails were broken and chipped, indicating that she was asleep when he started strangling her, but she awoke and there was clearly a struggle, and she fought back hard. And what's crazy is, this isn't even the first time that the police had known about Wade Wilson. A few months before the murders, there was another situation. Kelly did not know Wade Wilson. Kelly is another woman, but she knew Stephen Wilson, not his dad, okay? But that was her boyfriend that she had been living with for the past 6 months. They started living together 2018, but the incident takes place February 2019, and the murders are October 2019. So they start maybe dating a year before the murders. Kelly and Steven are full on living together when she finds some weird things in the house. It's like this weird glass contraption. It's obviously not hers, so it's gotta be Steven's. And she doesn't straight up ask Steven about it because maybe she just has an inkling that he's gonna lie to her. She ends up taking a picture of it, posting it onto Reddit, and asking Redditors, "Hi, hello, what is this? Is this like a drug thing? I don't know anything." Everyone starts commenting, "Oh yeah, that's a makeshift crack pipe. Your boyfriend's doing crack." Kelly also finds out that his name, her boyfriend's name that she's been living with for 6 months, isn't even Stephen Wilson. Well, I mean it is, but his real full name is Wade Stephen Wilson. And he's got 2 kids. He has children. Wade Wilson has kids. And he did not tell her about that. She ends up finding out through all of this by herself. She confronts him and he tries to convince her, "Those are my kids. Those are my friend's kids." Which, what? Like, we're not even getting into the drug usage. She hates it. She doesn't want drugs in the house, and the fact that he's constantly lying to her. In addition to all of that, Kelly would catch him cheating on her multiple times with multiple different women. He would deny it. She would at times catch him on camera cheating, and he would still deny it. She said this guy is a master manipulator. That's how he lives his life. I guess one day Wade had enough of being called out on his own bullshit because Kelly comes home and everything is gone. Everyone and everything is gone. Not just Wade's stuff, but all of her stuff is gone too. He even took her gun and ran off. She reports it to the police and they do nothing about it. We got back from our trip in South Korea, and my husband did one of the most surprising things. He was actually able to speak a lot of Korean. I'm talking conversational, understandable Korean, and there was barely even an accent when he was talking. And I do have to thank Rosetta Stone for that, because the moment that I found out that we were going, I told him he needed to study every day, every hour, every minute, because I just didn't want him to get lost in the city without me and be unable to find his way back, even though he only started days before our trip to get back into the flow of really going into the Korean lessons. I have to say that I was really impressed of how he did. But he said Rosetta Stone made it very easy for him, which makes sense because Rosetta Stone is the most trusted language learning program for 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered. My husband really liked that Rosetta Stone forced him to immerse into the language, meaning it doesn't give him any English translations. So he could learn to speak, listen, and think in Korean. It teaches you the language how you would naturally naturally learn, meaning you learn words, phrases, and then sentences. This is not one of those apps where you just learn a few words a day and then forget about it. Rosetta Stone is built for long-term retention. It even comes with this built-in true accent feature, meaning it's going to give you feedback on your pronunciation. It's almost like having a personal trainer for your accent. You can train anywhere with Rosetta Stone because it's built for the desktop, or it has an app, it has an audio companion, and you even have the ability to download lessons offline. Rosetta Stone has Korean, Japanese, Chinese, and so many more languages for you to learn from. You can literally get a lifetime membership for all 25 languages, meaning you literally get access to all 25 language courses for 50% off. No matter where you plan to go or what trip you want to take, Rosetta Stone can help you learn the language. Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. For a very limited time, Rotten Mango listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/rotten. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/rotten today. Kelly would later say he didn't have any violent tendencies. He yelled a lot and was mentally abusive. He kicked a door in once, but he never hit me, and I just thought I was in a shit relationship. I didn't think anything of it until he tried to kill me. A few months before the murders, February 2019. The murders take place October 2019. This is the day before Kelly's birthday. Wade comes over to her house and he's like, I'm sorry. I'm going to go to rehab. I'm going to get the help that I need, and we're going to be happy again. By the way, Kelly has like a whole TikTok series about this. She's like, I've been on this train before. I know where this is going. No, like, you're not going to rehab and I know it. They start getting into this heated argument, screaming at each other. Wade leans over and starts choking Kelly, throws her into the backseat of her own car. He grabs a knife, cuts off all of her clothes, essays her. He starts biting her all over the face. He ends up busting open her lip. She's got ligature marks on her hands, knees, neck. Her neck marks are so deep that Wade's fingerprints are literally imprinted into the bruises on her neck. He then proceeds to tie her up, gag her, drive 3.5 hours to the Florida Keys, where he is definitely not going to rehab. Now, mind you, this whole car ride, Kelly has a shirt tied around her head. She's literally being kidnapped. Leggings stuffed into her mouth, and she's naked in the backseat. She also has a broken foot because he slammed the door on her foot. He just takes her on a journey, driving through McDonald's, stealing her phone, selling it to buy crack, and eventually he leaves her in her car in the middle of nowhere to go hook up with another girl. Kelly manages to untie herself. She drives all the way back home. This is like 4 a.m. at this point. She said that she was speeding back home, quote, going like 100 miles an hour, trying to get someone to help me, hoping that I would get pulled over so that I could explain what was happening. Kelly states that the police took pictures of all of her injuries. She had a kit performed and received treatment from the hospital for several hours, but she states that the police did not care for the case. They found Wade down in Florida Keys, and he told the authorities, Kelly's just kind of into that thing. Like, into that kind of thing, choking and rough stuff. That's all it took.
And police just stopped.
The incident report reads, quote, based on everything learned during the investigation, at the time the case will be inactive due to the following. There are no witnesses to the alleged crime and no evidence to establish probable cause. The suspect has continued to deny the allegations and refuses to submit to an examination. The case will be inactive pending further investigations. Kelly also claims that the day that the police decided to deem the case inactive, Wade told authorities that Kelly was stalking him, that she was warning his current girlfriend about him, and that would be stalking, and the police were going to open an investigation into her. I don't think anything came of it, but still.
When I tried to pursue this, all of that disappeared. Everything from my trial was gone. My photos could no longer be found. No one found them. No one has them. I've never seen them, but I remember them being taken.
Kelly has also stated on her TikTok that Wade tied up another girlfriend of his and threw her out into a parking lot completely naked, and that at one point he dated a man and ended up stabbing him. Yes, so Wade dated a man prior to, I think it was after Kelly, and he ended up stabbing the man, stabbing his boyfriend.
This is all from Kelly?
Yes.
Wow.
Now, Kelly states that she has since gotten an attorney, and she firmly believes that had the police believed her or even tried to investigate a little bit, had they arrested Wade, he would have not killed the other 2 women later on. She's also very vocal about how much she hates the man, which is understandable. But she says, I want nothing to do with him until it's time to watch him fry. And I will be in the front row with a big old sign saying bye. Yeah, fry as in executed. What is certifiably frightening is the fact that when Kelly shared her story on TikTok after Wade Wilson's arrest, after he was already going viral on TikTok for being hot, okay, people commented on her video, well, you're a 3 and he's a 10. After her traumatic story of being kidnapped and essayed by a now convicted killer, and how perhaps if the police had listened to her, none of this would have happened, there were some people still focused on the fact that they believe he's more conventionally attractive. I really hope that these netizens are not 18 or registered to vote in the US this upcoming election, because I'm terrified. Now, some people on TikTok seem to excuse double homicide for the pure fact that they like this man's face tattoos. It's kind of wild. That is why Wade Wilson is going viral on TikTok. They keep playing his court videos with the Joker quotes overlaid or the Joker audio overlaid. One TikTok is of him in court, and there's audio of the Joker's voice from the movies saying, remember this, nobody watches you harder than the people who don't like you. So give them a show they'll never forget.
It's like fan edits, right?
Yes, he's on trial for double homicide. There's also this one moment in court where I don't know why he's doing this, but he's kind of placing both of his hands and sliding them over his frontal pants area. And the comments are genuinely thirsting over this move. They love his hand placement. And when someone tells them, hey, this is actually insane, they say, we don't like what he did, but we just like his face tattoos. And see, I have a problem with that. Let us have a full rundown of some of his tattoos and their meanings, shall we? Even after some of these people have been told what the tattoos mean, they still don't care though. I'm just gonna preface that. He has the word live tattooed on his fingers, L-I-V-E. He has TTG tattooed on the right side of his forehead, which allegedly stands for time to go or train to go, as in ready to fight. He has bread for war tattooed in big letters under his chin, again, as in ready to fight, ready for war. He has the letters NMM on his left jaw. That the meaning seems a bit more up in the air, but some people believe that it's a reference to Deadpool, the Marvel character.
Wait, what's the tattoo?
N as in Nancy, M as in mom, M as in mom. So that's the tattoo that Wade Wilson is the Deadpool's name in the movie.
So they share the same name.
Yes, and that's why some people call him the Deadpool killer right now, especially because the new Deadpool 3 came out around the same time that his verdict came out. And yeah, it's just the timing is horrendous. Now, Deadpool's alter ego is Wade Wilson, and Deadpool actually gets M-Day tattooed on his body for the day that the mutants lost their power. So some people think it's a reference to his name being Deadpool, but it's very unclear. Around his eye, he has the words, why so serious? Which is likely a reference to Heath Ledger's iconic line in 2008's The Dark Knight as the Joker. And then he has the words, ha ha ha, tattooed underneath. He also has a wannabe Glasgow smile tattooed onto his face, which is, you know, where the Joker has his lips cut to his ears. He has it tattooed though. So it's not a real cut, it's a tattoo. And it might have to do with Heath Ledger's next line in the film, which is, he sticks the blade in my mouth. Let's put a smile on that face. So it's, why so serious? He sticks a blade in my mouth. Let's put a smile on that face. He also has the number 14 on the right side of his neck, which is a white supremacist mantra that stands for the 14 words they live by, which is, we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. He has the number 88 tattooed on his neck next to the 14, which is the numeric code for the 8th letter of the alphabet, aka H. So 88 would be HH, and for white supremacists, it stands for Hail Hitler. And the combination of the numeric codes 14 and 88 is typically a very white supremacist number. He also has 2 Nazi symbols, one under his right eye. Yeah, in case you're like, well, no, the 1488 could mean something else. Maybe it's January 4th, 1988. No, he has a Nazi symbol under his right eye and another one on his scalp. But a lot of the times the one on his scalp is hidden by his hair. It's huge. It takes up like half of the right side of his scalp. Now, the thing is, when he went to the Buddha bar in 2019, when he committed these murders, he did not have any face tattoos. Otherwise, I don't think Mila would have dated him. I don't think Christine would have given him the time of day. I don't think Diane would have even stopped momentarily to help give him directions. I mean, you see one Nazi symbol on the face, you're running. But he didn't have any of these tattoos on his face in 2019 or in his mugshot. He wasn't allowed on bail. So how did he suddenly show up to court with these tattoos all over his face? October 2020. Almost exactly a year after the murders, Wade has been sitting in prison waiting for this upcoming trial. He was obviously denied bail. And that is when a little note gets slipped underneath a different cell door. The note reads along the lines of, I'm here for 2 murders, but I'm gonna leave around 1 or 2 a.m. There's also an address. This is where I wanna be picked up. It seems like an arrangement of sorts. What do you mean you're leaving at 1 or 2 in the morning? This is prison. You don't just get to leave when you want to leave. A man named Curtis in the cell picks up the note and he smirks. Message received. I mean, for Curtis, not for Curtis's cellmate who's sitting there like, what do these people think we're doing? This is not an episode of Prison Break. He goes to the guards, tells them what he saw, everything. He tells them from start to finish. The guards storm the entire cell block, full lockdown in pod 1. And sure enough, in one of the cells, the glass on the window had been cracked. Side note, the window is too tall for anyone to actually climb through, but the metal stool that was bolted onto the ground was also found to have been pried off. Someone had ripped it off from the ground. So whoever did this, they're determined to get out, but not smart.
Wait. So, what does that mean? So they broke
the window is
window?
really tall. So there's no way that anyone, even someone 6'6", could get through the window unless they have some sort of leverage. But the furniture in cells are usually bolted to the ground because of that reason. Someone had pried off a metal stool that's bolted to the ground.
So they can step on it.
Yes, they ripped it off so that they can step on it.
Wow.
They're determined, but they're not smart, because even if you get that window cracked open, it's so small. Like, they make them small for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not gonna fit an average male body through it, let alone a 6'6" dude. Additionally, even after the window, you're still talking about multiple layers of barbed wire, guards with guns, security, alarm trigger, CCTV. I guess we'll never know if they had a whole plan to outsmart any of that, because both Wade and his cellmate are caught. They're charged with attempted prison escape and criminal mischief. I mean, side note, the whole time Wade is in prison waiting for his trial, he is just overall a mess. He keeps reaching out to news networks to talk about what happened, and each time he would just change his story. First, he stated Christine was alive and well when he left her house, and that Diane was the one that asked him for a ride, and that he dropped her off at a bus stop.
Are you guilty of those murders? Did you commit those murders concerning Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz?
No, ma'am, I did not commit these murders, and I'm innocent. I did not, no, ma'am.
April of 2023, Wade was caught running an El Chapo wannabe scheme in prison. He was charged with attempted trafficking of crystal meth inside a prison. He also snitched on another inmate of his who was trying to kill the mother of his child. There is an inmate by the name of Tristan Gendon, and he wanted to kill the mother of his child. He asks Wade, can you help me kill the mother of my child, who's obviously not in prison? And Wade is like, how would I do that? I'm in prison. And he says, well, of course, I think you know some people on the outside. He promises Wade a $250,000 payout, which I highly doubt that he's telling the truth here. And I think Wade also knew that Tristan is not a believable character. Tristan even wrote this letter for Wade detailing how he's going to get paid. He literally writes the evidence. He writes, next plan involves going to funeral home and crocking my pop's safe open to extract drug money and hit money for Valerie. ADT security pin to disarm system is blank. Garage door code is blank. Easy ass in and out, and you can open safe with diamond blade demolition saw. Easy $250,000 in there. Could have been done already. Yeah, Wade wasn't buying it because he goes straight to the prison guards and snitches on him. He says, people would accept $100,000, $200,000, surely, but I'm not that type of person. I don't know her personally whatsoever from a can of paint, but it doesn't matter. She's a person.
No way.
I think that he knew he wasn't going to get paid. I think that he knew that he didn't have anyone on the outside to do this, and he was going to use this to his advantage to make himself look like a moral person. But it's just all very transparent what he's trying to do here, no?
Yeah.
So he actually ends up receiving the tattoos in prison. He gets all of the face tattoos in prison, but he chose to get these tattoos in prison while awaiting trial. Now, obviously, these new prison face tattoos are not going to do him any favors during the trial. His attorneys motioned to let Wade change his appearance for the trial, aka, can we please let him get a haircut, get some suits, and clean up his face tattoos, whether it's covering them up with makeup or something? The judge grants this. They give Wade permission to cover up his face tattoos, his clearly racist, obnoxious, and honestly just very poorly done tattoos on his face. But when Wade shows up to court with his new suit, new haircut, and new face tattoos, his attorney sits down next to him, takes one look at the side of Wade's face, and he looks genuinely disgusted by his own client. He shakes his head and he whispers to the co-counsel, and he just looks grossed out because Wade asked the judge for a haircut. He does get one, but he does a strong fade on the sides of his head, and he's basically showcasing the giant Nazi symbol tattooed onto his scalp.
Yeah, so he gets the tattoo in prison, these very, very specific tattoos, and he decides to show it in court.
Yes.
I think that says more than enough.
Yeah, and he goes out of his way to show it in court.
Yeah.
Okay, covering up the face tattoos, maybe that's... I honestly don't know why he wouldn't do that. But to intentionally get a haircut to show off the scalp Nazi symbol, it's crazy.
And this is not even like a momentary, like, oh, I'm not.
No.
Like, this is like a decision he made over and over and over.
Yes. Now, that moment of the attorney being disgusted by his own client has gone viral online, as well as another moment that Wade shares with another one of his attorneys, a blonde female attorney. He is leaning closer to whisper something, which is kind of what you do in court. You can't really speak loudly. But that moment has been romanticized by some people on TikTok because they keep comparing this scene to the scene of Harley Quinn and Joker from Suicide Squad. Yeah, there are edits all over TikTok of just Wade walking into the courtroom, and I guess there's a noticeable bulge in his pants. And the comments on the fan edit of him walking into court read, "It walked into the room before he did." And people are having a blast. There's another fan edit where he's walking into the courtroom in his suit, and there's two police officers watching him because, you know, he's a dangerous killer. But the song on this one goes, as I walk, do you know this song? As I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I take a look at my life and I realize there's nothing left. They think he's the Joker. And the comments read, he walks in like he's about to lead a very important all-company staff meeting. He walks in like he's a model for Hugo Boss. The attorney has a thing for him for sure. He walked in like he's the attorney. He walks into the courtroom as if he's the judge, heart emoji. He walks in like he's the president. He's the CEO of the court. Another fan edit includes a song by Eminem called Spacebound. The lyrics go, nobody knows me, I'm cold, walk down this road all alone, it's no one's fault but my own, it's the path I've chosen to go, frozen to snow, I show no emotions whatsoever, so don't ask me why I have no love for fucking hoes.
That is crazy.
It's a fan edit with just screen captures of him from the trial. You know, the trial where he's being tried for double homicide? And one of the comments reads, as a family therapist myself, I cannot imagine this court without a report and explanation of how the adoptive parents treated and influenced this young man. Another fan edit is just of him walking into court. There's a sad song playing in the back. The caption reads, how do people say he's showing no emotions? I see he is sad, hopeless, and helpless. Let's forgive because at the end of the day, nothing is going to change. Peace. And they do a peace emoji. Another comment reads, I can see his aura. He killed his emotions too. He accepts his situation. That's why he looks like that. In another TikTok, there's whole TikTok pages, multiple TikTok pages dedicated to him. One comment on that page reads, I don't support what you did, but I just see a lot of suffering in your eyes. There is also a change.org petition to stop Wade Wilson's death penalty execution because this is a death penalty trial in Florida, which I wouldn't even be talking about this petition in this context if it were a genuine, or at least in my opinion, a genuine petition organized by those who genuinely just are opposed to the death penalty across the board. And regardless of if it's Wade Wilson or anybody else in the world, they would be fighting for their rights to live. That is a very different story. We are not here to argue whether the death penalty is good or bad. But just reading the comments left behind on this petition, it is pretty clear. Some of these petitioners, they could care less about the morality behind executions carried out by the state. Even the original petition, again, like I said, if it's a petition created by someone who just genuinely is opposed to the death penalty, I would not be talking about it in this manner. But the petition itself includes a poem. The poem reads, "You wear a mask of tattoos as your disguise, but I see the pain and sadness in your eyes. Wow. It's clear by your beauty that God wanted you to live a beautiful life, filled with joy and the love of a devoted wife. But after a life of abuse, a damaged boy remains, a boy who is shackled in sorrow and chains. You had a life of torture and didn't get the chance to find a way to fight the demons you face night and day. As the verdict looms, the world spreads hate, but let us pause for a moment and contemplate, because behind the bravado, the world should see a frightened boy who deserves our sympathy. In your gaze, there's a desperate plea for a little understanding and empathy. The world sees a villain who should never be free, but they don't know your full story."
That is crazy that somebody came up with that.
Yeah, they thought they ate too.
Yeah.
Yeah. One comment on the petition reads, "Save this man. He's too young to die. This man doesn't deserve death. He needs help." Praying emoji, crying emoji, broken heart emoji. This is so heartbreaking. Another reads, "I wish I would have known him sooner. So many people don't realize how much good there is within. Society failed. Society failed everybody. I do not support the death penalty in this matter or case." The death penalty is murder. Murder is a sin. Therefore, if he is sentenced to the death penalty, it makes them no better than a murderer.
Oh.
He still needed time to develop. He's 25, okay? He had a rough upbringing into his adolescence. The pain in his eyes from seeing his dad brought out hidden trauma of neglect and abandonment. Suffering in your own pain brings a lot of cognitive issues and out of touch of reality. This guy deserves a second chance to realize there's consequences. He may be a father, and we don't want the same pattern to occur with his children. He has suppressed thoughts and needs proper psychological treatment. He's very young to be sentenced to death. Yes, he did murder 2 innocent victims, but I believe he does have mental issues. I've been exposed to people with different types of mental issues, and I'm sure if you get to know him, you would notice these things. He should have received medical help when he was a small child. I believe that he would not be at this point today then. Another one reads, "Nobody can decide if a person lives or not. Not just because it's the law. It means, they can decide if a person lives or not. Them." It doesn't even make coherent sense. At this point, irony is just sitting in the room with us. Another person comments, "We all make bad choices, some worse than others, but there's no reason to kill somebody for the things they did."
These people delusional.
One just reads, "Save Wade. He doesn't deserve the death penalty. Save Wade, save Wade, save Wade, save Wade." Or, "I think he was set up for this. He deserves a chance to speak." Yes, he was given a chance to speak. He said he ran an innocent woman over until she turned into spaghetti. That's what he said. Some people in the comments actually question his guilt. So that's a whole thing. Some people believe that he's being framed. Where did they get this crazy idea, you ask? From Wade Wilson himself. In 2020, the year after his initial arrest, he told a news station that he had been involved with some very shady people in the past, like really shady. They were traffickers, trafficking syndicates. They trafficked all sorts of commodities, drugs, humans. He used to manage the product, aka he used to groom women for them, manipulate the women into becoming victims, and then he wanted out. He was like, "My soul needs to heal, basically. I need to get out." And they said, "No, you're never getting out." And he said, "No, I must." And they framed him for the murders.
A man is guilty until proved innocent, and he is not guilty until proved innocent. And the thing about it is that I don't, I'm just a man sitting in jail, and I'm being slandered, I'm being talked down to, I'm being put on a very bad place. I'm being put in a very bad place, and it's not fair to me. I have a family, I have 2 children.
So because of that, one comment in the change.org petition reads, "There are too many holes in this story. You know how many people got locked up and are not actually guilty? Imagine putting someone to death and they weren't guilty. I believe he's covering for someone. He already said he had to lie and confess to protect his kids. What if he didn't do it and we kill him? And the death penalty won't bring them back? Someone who is in pain and has had lots of trauma deserves a chance to be happy and find God, even if it's locked away. He deserves a chance at life with meaning, and his kids deserve to have their daddy around." It's likely that some of these netizens have a Actual interest in those who commit crimes. It usually manifests in those who believe that they can change someone, that someone is so evil and is so willing to kill, but they will go to the ends of the earth to, I guess, protect the ones that they love, that only they can heal the inner child of the killer and nurture them. They think that they're living in their own dark romance novel, but no, you're living in a true crime documentary because you're going to be next. Like, I don't know how else to put it. And I know some people consider this case a book talk case because there were some people on book talk that were, I guess, romanticizing it as a dark romance, but none of the book talk guys would do this. I mean, if you read a dark romance book, I don't think that they don't do stuff like this. It's just bizarre. There are people even writing letters to the judge that read, if you look past his tattoos to his face structure since being in prison and medicated, he's healthier. His face is fuller compared to his booking picture, his mugshot, where his face is gaunt, pale, and he looks unhealthy. He's been healthier since being in prison. So in this healthy state of mind, he is fully committed to the white supremacist tattoos on his face. I mean, I feel like the argument is not being proven here. Again, we're talking about the white supremacist Wade Wilson. Not only is his face a walking racist poster board, but he's part of the prison gang Unforgiven. It is the largest white supremacist prison gang in Florida. Meanwhile, Christine and Diane are gone, and I don't think that they've publicly stated anything about seeing these TikToks that have been made about Wade Wilson. And I don't even think that's something that we could be able to comprehend the amount of anger, or I don't know exactly what the word would be if they were to stumble upon them. But Christine lived alone with her cat, Monty. Monty was actually a fixture in a lot of the crime scene photos. The jury and the court had seen him in a lot of the pictures, and they just called him the fat cat. Because after Christine's very vicious murder, after the police arrived at the apartment, after CSI came to take pictures, through all of that, Monty refused to leave Christine's side. So that is why he is in a lot of the crime scene photos. Christine's cousin gave a victim impact statement where she says, Christine adored her mother. They were two peas in a pod. They were the same and different in the most beautiful ways. They lived less than 1 block apart in 2019 when this occurred. Christine's mother has not been at this trial. Once Christine was murdered, she was never the same. How could she be? Her health declined quickly. She left Florida and is now cared for by their son in Maryland. Christine's mother is my godmother. When she left Florida, she made me promise to see this trial through, and I have kept that promise. We all have. We have sat through graphic testimony and heard all the positive gruesome details of how our girl met our end, and I sit here today and I listen because that's what Christine would have done. She would have sacrificed her sanity to see justice done, and so I have done the same. Losing Christine has been like loving Christine. It has changed the courses of our lives forever. Losing someone to murder is foul and vicious and soul-crushing, and with one exception, and she looks straight at Wade and he looks straight back at her. She says, with one exception, I would not wish it on my worst enemy.
With one exception, I would not wish it on my worst enemy. The prosecution has won this trial, but I assure you, the family, friends, and loved ones of Christine Ann Melton have only lost.
Zane Romero was 11 when his father died, and he was 14 when his mother, Diane, was murdered. Wade Wilson orphaned a child. Now in court, Zane is 19. I mean, he's barely an adult, but he's somehow brave enough to stand in front of his mother's killer. He tells the court, my name is Zane Romero. I'm a 19-year-old college student going for my bachelor's in graphic design. I am Diane Ruiz's youngest child. I was 14 when she passed. I was just starting my freshman year of high school, and she was so excited to see me grow up and so proud of what I was growing into. She supported me in all my dreams and only tried to help and uplift me when I was taking on new risks and challenges. My father unfortunately passed away when I was only 11. My mother was all I had left. I was barely 2 months into my first year of high school when she passed. I was in marching band, and the week prior she was telling me how excited she was to go and watch me perform at the weekend's football game. It would have been her first time seeing me perform. That was my first year in the marching band. She would never get to see me perform, and I would never get the experience of seeing her in the crowd. My mother supported my dreams and only ever wanted me to succeed in life. She always made sure that all the hard work I was putting into my education wasn't going unnoticed. She would always show up with these random gifts that helped me succeed in life for what I needed. She was raised in a tough home environment and only ever wanted to give me and my brother just nothing like that. She wanted us to grow up in a loving home and for us to be happy. Diane was engaged to be married, and her fiancé testified. He broke out into tears during his testimony because that morning the last text message she ever sent him was she was upset at him because she didn't think that he kissed her goodbye before he left for work. And he said that he absolutely did. There have been a few viral clips from the trial. On one trial date, there were 2 detectives who testified back to back. When the male detective testifies, Wade is just his normal emotional range, which is just flat. There's nothing behind the eyes. Some say there's pain. I say there's radio silence back there. He's flat. But right after the male detective testifies, a female detective starts testifying, and he starts smirking, full on staring at her, running his tongue over his teeth inside his mouth, smirking at her. It's like he's trying to incite something. As we talked about earlier, some supporters of Wade's were arguing that he's suffering from mental illnesses, which is why he should not be sentenced to death. Some further context in the trial was that when Wade was super young, there were some reports that he was struggling with his mental health, which, yeah, okay, a lot of us are. We don't go on to kill for fun. But it stated that he was very paranoid that people were watching his adoptive family, and he insisted that all the blinds be closed. Another time, his dad called the police because Wade was allegedly convinced that there was an entity in the garage. Nobody found anything or any entity in the garage that Wade was referring to. So growing up, there were a few other instances where he was heavily involved in sports and he had a lot of head injuries from playing said sports. It's said that it resulted in a concussion a couple of times. There's also arguments that that's where his problems began, that he started doing drugs afterwards. And even at 20 years old, he was in a car accident where he suffered from a concussion when his car hit a tree. Now, during the trial, of course, his attorneys try to argue this is why he's not well in the head. This is why he did what he did. But CT scans showed no abnormalities in his brain. It is argued that they should have gotten MRIs, which are a lot more detailed, like screen grabs, I guess you could say, of the brain, snaps. But prison records show that he's been diagnosed with multiple different conditions, including depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and antisocial personality disorder, which again, many people have been, and they don't kill anybody. Multiple doctors were called in to analyze Wade and testify later on the stand. They do agree that he has significant frontal lobe impairment, which would affect his executive functioning and decision-making as well as impulse control. And he also likely suffers from some sort of mental disorder, but so do a lot of people, and they don't kill anybody. The prosecutors argued that he was clearly not in a state of psychosis when he committed the crimes. There's evidence of him very clearly trying to run away from the crimes multiple times from the police. He's trying to get help. He's trying to go and get a train ticket out of there, a plane ticket. They also argued that the damage to his brain could not be a mental disorder and could just be from prolonged drug use. Which, like, should society have to pay for that? Like, that's crazy. The jury deliberated for 1 hour and 45 minutes and voted 9-3 in favor of the death penalty. Now, this is very interesting because Florida not too long ago passed a law where the death penalty does not have to be unanimous.
Wow.
Yes. So 9-3 is enough. 10-2 voted for the death penalty for the murder of Diane. So 9-3 for Christine's murder and 10-2 for the murder of Diane. During the reading of the verdict, he is completely emotionless. Like, he had more emotions when the female detective was testifying. The judge will be the final decider on whether or not he will be placed on death row and further executed by the state. The judge is going to make that final decision August 27th of 2024. So in like a week or two.
August 27th?
Yes.
In a few weeks.
Yeah, in a few weeks. Later, one of the jurors, an anonymous female juror, would tell Wink News, there were times where, he and I would lock eyes and just stare at each other, and there's definitely a very noticeable weight in the room when you're sitting with somebody that has done these horrific things that he did. There are certain images that we had to see during this trial that we can never unsee. And that is the story of Wade Wilson, and how almost he's gotten over 4,000 letters at this point, I'm sure.
4,000
letters, yeah. Digital letters, physical letters, nude photos that have been flagged. Almost 200 nude photos that the prison guards were like, yeah, we're not going to let this through.
Wow.
People genuinely think that they can change him. and they love his face tattoos, which is, I feel like, it's basically, you're racist. If you love his, I don't even know what to say. How can you love his face tattoos? They're not even well done.
Crazy.
What are your thoughts on this case? Please let me know in the comments, and please stay safe.